Chapter 340. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that he couldn't help the Night Moon dynasty, so it was pointless to worry. The Night Moon dynasty is a real royal family. Back then they came out of the Night Moon Sea and conquered the world. In the future they will definitely come out again. However, they were schemed against in the last battle, so their vitality was greatly damaged and they need to rest, Sikong Chuyu said. Don't worry, I'm fine. I will only work hard to cultivate. If I were a child of the Night Moon dynasty, I would be able to help when the Night Moon dynasty counterattacks, Night Sorrow said. You're right. Don't think too much about the past. Look forward to the future. You can conquer the world, Sikong Chuyu said as he handed Night Sorrow a cup of water. Night Sorrow nodded and took a sip of the tea from Sikong Chuyu's hand. Don't worry, you too. I know that my parents care about me, so I will be fine, Night Sorrow said. When there is news from Tianji Tower and we buy a house, we will stay here for a while. We have nothing to do anyway, Yang Lei said. If the Golden Flame sect doesn't attack the Medicine Valley, then we will be fine. If they attack the Medicine Valley, then it will be more troublesome. We will have to go back, Night Sorrow said. For the time being they shouldn't. I heard from the first elder that old Ghost John of the Golden Flame sect has been in seclusion. A virtual sky can't do anything to the Medicine Valley, Yang Lei said. She was an elder of the Medicine Valley, so she knew some things. Z had H hair, P. Then I am relieved. Night Sorrow nodded. But if we have time, we have to go back to Bamboo Garden Village. Your spiritual liquid origin may improve old Mangu's body, Yang Lei said. All right. Upon hearing this news, Night Sorrow's eyes lit up. Being able to improve Father Gu's body was something that Night Sorrow was very hopeful of. Also, a few words. The Myriad Daos Become Gods book is first published by Cool Craftsman. There's no need to subscribe. You can be the first to see the book's updates. Brothers who are reading books on other websites, can you please support Cool Craftsman? Be it mobile phones or computers, just Baidu Cool Craftsman's Myriad Daos Become Gods. Shizi needs everyone's support. Thank you. In the next few days, other than cultivating and resting in the inn, Night Sorrow and the other two would walk around Dongshan City when they had nothing to do. They also gained a better understanding of Dongshan City. The strongest force in Dongshan City was the City Lord's Manor. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.ichuxs. The Black Iron Guards of the City Lord's Manor had a cultivation base of at least the 4th stage. When the Black Iron Guards killed someone, no one would ask for the reason. This was because the person who was killed was definitely seeking death. In Dongshan City, the Black Iron Guards were the symbol of strength and justice. Next was Tianji Tower. Tianji Tower had powerful guards. If anyone dared to provoke Tianji Tower, they would be mercilessly annihilated. No one doubted the strength of Tianji Tower. Another was a very special organization, Hall of Assassins. The Hall of Assassins was located in a bustling area. There were 3 luxurious storefronts, and only an old man with no cultivation was in charge. The rest were ordinary servants and maids, but no one dared to cause trouble here. Even if it was a 5th-rank cultivator, if they dared to cause trouble in this attic, they would not live to see the next day. Their corpses would even be displayed here. This was the deterrence of the Hall of Assassins. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.ichuxs. Siom Hall of Assassins was an organization of assassins. All they took were hunting missions. There was only a price you couldn't afford to pay. There was no one they couldn't kill. If they kill people as they please, wouldn't the world be in chaos? Night Sorrow asked after learning about the Hall of Assassins. They have their own rules. If you want to kill someone who hasn't done anything wrong, you'll have to pay a high price. If you want to kill someone with great influence, you might not even be able to pay with your entire family's fortune. We don't even need to think about the price of killing a venerable, Sikong Chuyu said. That's good. If they kill people indiscriminately, then the world will be in chaos, Night Sorrow said. Hall of Assassins isn't an evil organization. In history there have been cases where Hall of Assassins killed a venerable for a piece of silver, Sikong Chuyu said. A piece of silver killed a venerable? Night Sorrow looked at Sikong Chuyu in surprise. Yes. It was a mission given by a child who crawled to the entrance of the Hall of Assassins with a knife in his abdomen. A venerable killed the child's entire family in order to snatch a refining material, Sikong Chuyu said. That child deserved to be killed. It's just that the child is very pitiful, Yang Lei said. Perhaps the child was very pitiful back then. But later on he was the only one who pitied others. He later became a top assassin of the Hall of Assassins. The price he paid for killing people was a piece of silver. He wasn't famous in the Eastern Shen domain. In other regions he was a taboo, Sikong Chuyu said. Very inspirational. That's how a person should be. Night Sorrow was very excited. Only with a firm heart and a persistent perseverance could he have such achievements. While the three were chatting, Leiho arrived. Behind him was a man in embroidered clothes. Senior. Night Sorrow stood up and greeted him. It's good to know more about certain things. If you look at a matter objectively, you will realize that there is a reason for its existence, Leiho said as he sat down. I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. This is Steward Lin of the City Lord's mansion. A few days ago, the City Lord's mansion killed a corrupt official. He has a courtyard. The location is very good, and the environment is not bad, Leiho said. What about the price? Night Sorrow asked. You were introduced by Senior Lei. The price won't be too high. It will be fine as long as I can report back to the City Lord's mansion, Steward Lin said. Then let's go take a look, Night Sorrow said. After leaving the inn, they all got on their flying mounts and went to the house Steward Lin mentioned. The house was located on the second street behind the main commercial street. It was a residential street. The location was not far from the City Lord's mansion, Tianji Tower, and the teleportation circle. It was a very good area. The courtyard was very grand. There were majestic stone sculptures of strange beasts at the entrance. After entering, the courtyard was very stylish. There were ancient trees, a lotus pond, and precious ornamental fish. There were wing rooms on both sides, and in the middle was an archway. After passing through the archway, there was another courtyard with a waterside pavilion and garden. Behind it was the main building and the auxiliary attic. Actually, the buildings here are not important. The location and area are valuable, Steward Lin said. The location and style here are good. The rooms can be renovated. How much is the price? Night Sorrow asked. He had seen many houses some time ago and knew that such houses were the best. 30 high-grade spirit stones will do. If it's not convenient for you, you can hand it in later, Steward Lin said. This price is very suitable. I can hand it in now. Here are a few pieces. Please have some tea, Steward Lin. Night Sorrow took out 30 high-grade spirit stones and handed them to Steward Lin. Then he took out 5 pieces and handed them over. Chapter 341. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? Shoan.net provides you with wonderful novels to read. Alright, keep it. You're in charge of this area. Tell the patrols to pay more attention to this area. If anyone comes to cause trouble, kill them without mercy, Leiho said. Understood. This is the deed for the house and the land. After you sign this one, I'll bring it back for the record. Keep this one. Steward Lin took out 2 sets of materials and a pen. Night Sorrow took the pen and signed his name. Night Sorrow, you might not like the layout that others like, mainly because they might not like it. Clean it up yourself. Steward Lin, Night Sorrow just came to Dongshan City and is unfamiliar with the place. Can you arrange for the workers? Leiho said. Alright, I'll arrange it. They'll come later. Steward Lin nodded. Then I'll pay you first. Night Sorrow took out the crystals again. Don't. Craftsmen don't cost much. With the materials, you won't even need to use up a piece of top-grade crystal. Young master, you don't have to be so polite. Steward Lin waved his hand and bowed to Leiho before leaving the courtyard. Cultivators have traveled all over the world, but they also need a warm home and a place to stay. It's not bad to clean up this place, Leiho said with a smile. Thank you, Senior. Night Sorrow cupped his hands to Leiho. It's nothing. You have a fixed location, so it's easy for us to find you. If you have any business, just go to Tianji Tower. When I'm not around, you can just tell Chief Enforcer Yin Shui and Elder Ho Yuan the same thing. Leiho smiled and left. The layout here is not bad. We can just tear down these buildings and rebuild them, Yang Lei said. Yes, we can redesign it. But we can't move in for a few days after cleaning up the place, Night Sorrow said. Don't worry, we'll go to the inn tonight. Yang Lei didn't find it troublesome. She was happy that everything was going smoothly. Night Sorrow could be considered to have established himself in Dongshan City. It probably won't take more than a few days, Night Sorrow said with a smile. He was in a good mood after buying this house. How about this? You two stay here and wait for the craftsmen. I'll go to our stronghold in the Medicine Valley and ask Elder Chu to send the butler here. We need someone to take care of things here, Yang Lei said. Okay, Chu, you and I will wait here for the craftsmen. Ninth Senior Sister, you go and arrange other things. Night Sorrow nodded. It was not suitable for this house to be empty at the moment. Look at the original C chapter /top plus Yang Lei rode the green condor and left. Night Sorrow took out some animal skins and made a shack. Sikong Chuyu started to make tea. While Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu were drinking tea, more than 20 craftsmen arrived at the residence, led by Steward Lin. Young master, these are all craftsmen. There are also workers behind to transport the materials. You can just tell them what to do, Steward Lin said. Thank you for your hard work, Steward Lin, Night Sorrow said apologetically. It's nothing, young Master Knight is too polite. Master Zhang, this is young Master Knight. I won't say anything else. You should understand, Steward Lin said to the craftsman. After that, Steward Lin left. Young Master, young Mistress, do you have any requests for the reconstruction of this house? Master Zhang asked. Do you have a pen and paper? I'll draw, Sikong Chuyu said. Master Zhang took out a pen and paper and handed it to Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow, come, let's draw an idea. Sikong Chuyu waved at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow explained his idea, and Sikong Chuyu made suggestions. The drawing was drawn. Chuyu, your drawing is very good. Night Sorrow said as he looked at the drawing that Sikong Chuyu casually drew. It's not difficult to draw a drawing. I'm good at zither, chess, calligraphy, and painting. I wonder if Ninth Senior Sister is satisfied with this? Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. While Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu were talking, Yang Lei rode the Green Eagle and landed with 2 elders from the Medicine Valley outpost. Night Sorrow, this is Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng from the Medicine Valley. Elder Chu felt that they needed to enjoy their old age, so he asked me to bring them here. Yang Lei introduced them to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow greets Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng. Night Sorrow saluted the old couple. Elder Yang, how should we address him? Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng looked at Yang Lei and asked. His name is Night Sorrow, the 13th disciple of my master. You can call him 13, Yang Lei said. 13th young master. Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng bowed to Night Sorrow. Uncle Feng, Aunt Feng, since you're here, we're family. If you're too polite, you can call me Night Sorrow. This is my fiancée Sikong Chuyu. You can call her Chuyu. Night Sorrow quickly helped Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng up. Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng stood up and greeted Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu again. Then Yang Lei asked Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng to familiarize themselves with the place. The problem with the servants hasn't been solved yet. Let's go to the servant market and buy a few later, Yang Lei said as she looked at the busy craftsmen in the courtyard. The loyalty of the servants and maidservants isn't easy to deal with, Night Sorrow said. That's what you don't understand. The servants have a way to control them. They've all been placed with soul-breaking crystals. Sikong Chuyu explained to Yishang. In the eastern Shen region and even other places, there were many bandits and thieves. After they were eliminated, the good-looking and strong ones would be controlled and have a soul-breaking crystal placed on their heads. The soul-breaking crystal was a special item. When a crystal was cut in half, one would shatter and the other would shatter. Therefore, once a soul-breaking crystal was placed on someone's head, their life would be controlled by others unless they wanted to die. Then let's go and buy 2. I don't want too many. I like the quietness. Night Sorrow nodded. Then he asked Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng to watch over the place. Night Sorrow and the other 2 rode on their flying demonic beasts and arrived at the eastern Shen city's servant market. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu chose 2 delicate and pretty girls. Night Sorrow casually looked around. He didn't have any requirements as long as Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu liked them. As they strolled around, Night Sorrow saw a special scene. A man with long hair was bending down to protect a 6 or 7-year-old child. A merchant was using a leather whip to whip him. The leather whip made cracking sounds as it hit the man's body. The man's expression didn't change as he tightly hugged the boy in his arms. The boy hugged the middle-aged man's neck and cried, "Father, I won't leave you." "Won't leave? I'll whip you to death." The merchant continued to swing his whip. "Stop." Yi Shang's heart was touched and he hurriedly shouted, "These are my goods. What do you want?" The pot-bellied merchant looked at Night Sorrow and asked, "Nothing. Since they are goods, you have to sell them, right? What's the price?" Night Sorrow asked. Chapter 342. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. I'll take them all, Night Sorrow said. Someone has reserved the small one and it will be sent away soon. The big one will cost 10 mid-grade spirit stones. The merchant said. 15 mid-grade spirit stones, I'll buy 2. Night Sorrow continued. No, the small one has been sold. The merchant shook his head. 20. Night Sorrow was ready to raise the price. 30. Before the merchant could say anything, Night Sorrow continued to raise the price. Don't talk nonsense with him. Buy the big one first. If someone wants to buy the small one, we'll buy it at a high price. Even if we have money, we won't let profiteers off. Yang Lei said angrily. Only be original W. Edition. Is a pirate to be edition. I'll sell. Hearing Yang Lei's words, the merchant became anxious. Then Night Sorrow gave the merchant 30 mid-grade spirit stones and took a piece of soul-breaking crystal. Then he left the servant market with the middle-aged man holding the child. After leaving the servant market, Night Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu returned to the house on their flying demonic beasts with the servants they bought. As soon as they got off the flying demonic beast, the middle-aged man put down the child and knelt down in front of Night Sorrow. Get up and tell me what you want. A man should stand even in death. Night Sorrow pulled the middle-aged man up. This is the first time I'm begging someone. My wife is still in the hands of bad guys. I want to save her. If I don't die, my life is yours. If I die, please treat this child well. The middle-aged man said. Where is your wife? Can you find her? Night Sorrow asked with a frown. She's in Black Dragon Village. My family was caught by them. My wife is still there. Because she refused to submit, they sold me and my son to a servant merchant today. The middle-aged man said. You were caught back then. You can go now? What's the highest cultivation level there? Yang Lei asked. It's an early void inquiry stage expert. My father was a third void inquiry stage expert. He was killed by the two of them. The middle-aged man said. Ninth senior sister, what do you think? Night Sorrow asked. Kill them. Yang Lei's fiery temper flared up. Sikong Chuyu also nodded. The behavior of Wulong village was disgusting. Uncle Feng, Aunt Feng, take care of this child and check his injuries. Night Sorrow informed Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng before releasing the flying demon beast and taking off with the middle-aged man. Black Dragon Village was less than 1,000 miles away from Dongshan City. It was just a small village that had some connections with Dongshan City, so it often caught some hunters and sold them as servants. Leaving Dongshan City took a long time. The distance from Night Sorrow's residence to the outskirts of Dongshan City was more than 1,000 li. After 4 hours, they arrived at Black Dragon Village. Is there a soul-breaking crystal installed on your wife? Yang Lei looked at the middle-aged man and asked. I don't think so. Mine was installed on me this morning. The middle-aged man said. Let's save her first. This way we won't be restrained in battle. Night Sorrow said. Under the middle-aged man's lead, the four of them knocked out a few guards and arrived at the dungeon. In the dungeon, Night Sorrow saw a woman who was hung up with blood all over her body. Night Sorrow pressed down on the middle-aged man who was agitated. He wielded the reincarnation spear, opened the dungeon door and put the unconscious woman down. Ninth senior sister, there is more than one void inquiry stage expert here. We need to take care of the injured. It's not suitable for us to fight. Night Sorrow said. Then let's leave first. When we are ready, we will come back and destroy this place. Even though Yang Lei had a fiery temper, she was not irrational. When Night Sorrow and the others got out of the dungeon and got on their flying demonic beasts, they were discovered by the people of Black Dragon Village. After reaching the void inquiry stage, one's detection ability would be very strong. Black Dragon Village did not cover a large area. Those who were observant would be able to discover the situation easily. When the people of Black Dragon Village surrounded them, the flying demonic beasts of Night Sorrow and the others also rose to the sky. After Chanyu, the fire phoenix and the green condor took off, the flying demonic beasts of Black Dragon Village also appeared. Ninth senior sister, come here. Sikong Chuyu called out to Yang Lei. Among the mounts of Night Sorrow and the others, the green condor was the slowest. At this moment, the middle-aged man and the injured woman were on Chanyu's back. Sikong Chuyu called out to Yang Lei to get on her fire phoenix. Yang Lei kept the green condor and landed on the back of the fire phoenix in a flash. Night Sorrow directly shot a rotten bone eagle tooth at the flying demonic beasts of Black Dragon Village. Then he took out his reincarnation spear. The flying demonic beast that was shot by the rotten bone eagle tooth screamed in agony and fell from the sky. After that, the people of Black Dragon Village shouted angrily and did not continue to chase after them. Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei had already made them feel pressured. In addition, Night Sorrow's hidden weapon that killed the flying demonic beast in an instant also made them feel afraid. After leaving the area of Black Dragon Village, Night Sorrow waved at Yang Lei. Ninth senior sister, come and take a look at her injuries. Yang Lei moved to Tianyu's back and Night Sorrow moved to the Fire Phoenix's back. The two of them exchanged positions. Yang Lei wanted to take a look at the woman's injuries. It was inconvenient for Night Sorrow to do so. After all, there was a difference between men and women. It's too vicious. Her legs are broken. Sikong Chiyu said to Night Sorrow. We don't have the confidence to win now. Let's wait and see. Night Sorrow was also very angry. At the same time he was also somewhat helpless. This was the way of the world. Today's incident touched Night Sorrow greatly, especially the scene where the middle-aged man used his back to block the whip for the child. Yi Shang had bought the two of them because this middle-aged man was a great father. His face was expressionless as he carried the whip, but his eyes were full of love. This scene was worth Yi Shang's help. Soon they returned to the house in Dongxian City. Let her rest for a while. Her legs and internal injuries need to be healed slowly. Yang Lei said to the middle-aged man. My life is yours from now on. Ning Yun greets you. Ning Qingfeng pulled the child in front of Night Sorrow and was about to greet Night Sorrow. You don't have to be so polite. This is your soul-breaking crystal. See how to deal with it. Night Sorrow threw the soul-breaking crystal to Ning Qingfeng. He knew that Ning Qingfeng was a man and didn't want to threaten him. Today he was just helping him morally. Sir, what are you doing? Holding the soul-breaking crystal, Ning Qingfeng looked at Night Sorrow in surprise. Everyone has their own difficulties and everyone has their own misfortune. Today's matter is nothing. Once your wife recovers you can leave, Yi Shang said. Sir, you can't look at me like that. Whether I have the soul-breaking crystal or not, my life is yours. I dare not forget your kindness. Ning Qingfeng bowed and said, Uncle, don't drive us away. Our house was burned by bad people. Ning Yun said with tears in her eyes. Chapter 343. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Ning Qingfeng's 7th level spirit severing stage cultivation was not low. Even among the 2nd-generation disciples of the Medicine Valley, he was considered one of the best. His wife was also at the 4th level of the spirit severing stage. It's up to you guys. This place is being rebuilt, so it's not suitable for living. Why don't you guys stay in the inn first and come back later? Night Sorrow said as he looked at the busy craftsmen in the house. Don't worry, we can just get a tent. Ning Qingfeng said. Okay, these two are Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng. We will all live together in the future. You guys can get to know each other. Night Sorrow introduced Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng to Ning Qingfeng. Then everyone separated. Ning Qingfeng planned to go back and collect his father's body, while Night Sorrow and the other two returned to the inn. Read on the $C genuine edition. Ning Qingfeng's wife was injured, but there was no problem with Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng taking care of her. People from the Medicine Valley had no problem treating injuries. While staying in the inn, Night Sorrow cultivated his true chi and the myriad Dao Tome at night and the 7-star brilliant moon spear during the day. Night Sorrow became more and more proficient in the 7-star brilliant moon spear technique. Every time he waved his hand he would shoot out 4 spears. At the same time he could also combine the 4 spears into one. Night Sorrow also skillfully added the vibration force to the reincarnation spear. As for the wave force, Night Sorrow could freely control it to appear on the spear's body and tip. It was the follow-up of the spiral tendon and wave force. After staying in the inn for 4 days, Night Sorrow and the other two returned to the house. The house was completely different from the original. The layout was solemn before, but now it was fresh. 13th young master, if you buy some more bamboo, it will be similar to the scenery in the Medicine Valley. Uncle Feng said with a smile. There are still some imperfections here. Uncle Feng, here are the mid-grade spirit stones and gold notes. Please take care of the household expenses. Night Sorrow took out a bag of mid-grade spirit stones and gold notes and handed them to Uncle Feng. All right, don't worry, 13th young master. Uncle Feng did not stand on ceremony. He did have some savings, but it was not enough to support such a big family. At this time, Ning Qingfeng supported his wife and led Ning Yun to Night Sorrow and the others. He bowed and greeted them. Don't be like this, you're too polite. Why are you still living in the shack? Isn't the house ready? Night Sorrow saw Ning Qingfeng and his wife coming out of the shack. 13th young master, you have to make the arrangements. We need to have a rule, Uncle Feng said. Uncle Feng, in the future you can make the decisions for these things. I don't have so many rules. Since we've entered this place we're family, Night Sorrow said. Uncle Feng nodded and led Ning Qingfeng's family and 2 maidservants to make the arrangements. Night Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu passed through several attics in the courtyard and came to the backyard. Generally speaking, in a house with a front yard and a backyard, the front yard was for the servants and the backyard was for the master. The attics next to the door were usually for the guards, and the housekeeper lived in the middle. Not bad, I like the style here. Looking at the small building in the backyard that had a fresh air, Yishan was very satisfied. The front and middle is yours. Ninth senior sister and I live on both sides. The side is the guest room. In the future, senior brother and senior sister will have a place to stay, Sikong Chuyu said. Knight Sorrow nodded. It was good that the house occupied a large area. In addition to the attics, there was also a garden, a waterside pavilion, and a small martial arts arena. These were all designed by Sikong Chuyu when she was drawing. The three of them looked around casually. Every attic had a cultivation room made of obsidian. It was a material that could isolate sound and energy. In addition, every attic had a bath made of firestone. The characteristic of firestone was that the temperature was moderate. It could raise the temperature of cold water to the point where it could be used for bathing. Love Gon Little Say W. Chu Steward Lin really put in a lot of effort. Sikong Chuyu said. She had only asked for a bath and a secret cultivation room. She did not ask for any materials. These good materials must have been arranged by Steward Lin. Lei Hua had personally arranged for Knight Sorrow's house to let Steward Lin know that Lei Hua valued Knight Sorrow. Therefore, he was especially concerned about Knight Sorrow's matters. In Dongshan City, if one's vision and methods were not sophisticated enough, one would not last long. At noon, the two maidservants and Aunt Feng prepared the meal. Aunt Feng, you can arrange for them to do this in the future. I didn't bring you here to make you suffer. If there aren't enough servants, we can buy more, Knight Sorrow said. Okay. Aunt Feng nodded gratefully. It's true that the two of you are maidservants that we bought, but we won't be harsh on you. After 2 years, Aunt Feng will return the soul-breaking crystal to you. It's up to you whether you want to stay or leave, Knight Sorrow said to the two maidservants. Thank you, young master. The two maidservants bowed. They had been worried for the past few days that they would meet their violent master. Now, Knight Sorrow's attitude made them feel much more at ease. As for the two of you, I won't stop you if you want to stay or leave. As long as you stay, we are family. Knight Sorrow looked at Ning Qingfeng and his wife Han Lin. Young master saved our lives, we husband and wife will never forget. Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin both stood up and said, well, everyone can be more casual in the future. Living under the same roof, it's uncomfortable to be too restrained. Let's eat. Knight Sorrow said. After eating, Knight Sorrow went to cultivate. Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu, Uncle Feng, and Aunt Feng chatted while the two maidservants cleaned up. Yang Lei gave Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin some healing pills. After experiencing this ordeal, both of them needed to recover. Thank you, master. Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin were very grateful. Since you decided not to leave, then you don't need to be polite. Just call me Yang Lei and we will call you Big Brother Ning and sister-in-law. Yang Lei said. She had a good impression of Ning Qingfeng and his wife. Husband and wife love each other deeply, and knowing how to repay kindness were very good qualities. After staying in the front courtyard for a while, the two women returned to the backyard to watch Knight Sorrow cultivate. Moreover, they also had to cultivate. The following days were peaceful. Knight Sorrow cultivated every day without leaving the house. At night, he cultivated the myriad Dao Tome and True Qi, and during the day he cultivated the 7-star Brilliant Moon Spear. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu went out for a walk every day. Sometimes they would take Han Lin and Ning Yun with them, while Ning Qingfeng acted as a guard. On this day, Yang Lei and others went out shopping. Knight Sorrow had just finished cultivating when Lei Hua came, followed by a man in blood-red clothes. Senior is here. Knight Sorrow wiped the sweat from his forehead and said, Good, your cultivation has improved very quickly. Come, let me introduce you, this is Commander Feng Lai Feng. Lei Hua sat down and introduced Knight Sorrow. Knight Sorrow greets Commander Feng. Knight Sorrow cupped his hands towards the man in blood-red clothes. You are too polite. This commander knows about your situation. Very good. The man in blood-red clothes nodded towards Knight Sorrow. Chapter 344. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. At this moment, Knight Sorrow was looking at Ardent Wind, who was dressed in blood-stained clothes. He couldn't see through Ardent Wind's cultivation, but he could feel that Ardent Wind's aura was very violent and had a baleful aura. He knew that this was the aura that had been accumulated from killing countless people. Ardent Wind is the commander of the City Lord Mansion's guards. If you are willing, you can join the Dongshan City's guards. This way, you will have an additional identity and it will be more convenient for you in the future. Lei Hua said. Senior, I have a lot of things to do. I don't have the time to patrol or carry out missions. Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. The guards under this commander will not carry out any missions easily. They will only take action when there is a threat to Dongshan City. The missions are usually cultivation missions, and the same goes for mid-level guards. If you can, then this lord can give you the identity of a law enforcer. Ardent Wind said. What's the difference? Night Sorrow asked. Ordinary guards need to gather for training and cultivation, but law enforcers don't need to. They just need to participate in big events. In Dongshan City, other than the City Lord Mansion's elders and protectors, no one can order you around. Ardent Wind said. Then tell me your requirements. Night Sorrow thought for a while and asked. He felt that it was necessary to have an identity to survive in Dongshan City, a place where dragons and snakes mix together. This lord will use the late stage of the spirit-severing realm. If you can withstand for the time it takes to brew a cup of tea, then you will have the qualifications to become a law enforcer. Ardent Wind said. Night Sorrow took out the reincarnation spear from his back and nodded at Ardent Wind. Ardent Wind stretched out his right arm, and a 5-foot-long battle blade appeared in his hand. He then slashed it at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow's body moved horizontally, and he waved his spear 4 times to meet Ardent Wind's battle blade. Ding, ding, asterisk ding. Asterisk 4 consecutive sounds rang out as the spear light with a strong penetrating force landed on Ardent Wind's warblade. Not only did it block Ardent Wind's attack, it even forced Ardent Wind to retreat a few steps. Ardent Wind's expression changed as he stomped on the ground. His body rose into the air and once again slashed down at Night Sorrow. The 3-feet-long blade light carried a biting cold killing intent. Night Sorrow moved horizontally and waved the reincarnation spear in his hand, thrusting 4 times consecutively towards Ardent Wind's battle blade. After finishing the 4 spear strikes, Night Sorrow's body moved in a semicircle while his right arm continuously swung. Every time the reincarnation spear struck out, there would be 4 spear strikes. The spear lights would all land at the same place. Sometimes they would attack Ardent Wind's battle blade, and sometimes they would stab Ardent Wind's body. Love Gone Little Say Ardent Wind's face was cold and solemn as he waved his saber to block Night Sorrow's spear light. After exchanging a few blows, Ardent Wind's battle blade slashed horizontally, intending to clash head-on with Night Sorrow. At this moment, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was thrusting towards Ardent Wind's chest. Seeing that Ardent Wind wanted to meet him head-on, the energy of the myriad Tao Tome in his body suddenly burst forth. The energy entered the spear body and unleashed the vibrating force. This did not affect the strength of the spiraling force unleashed by his true chi. You're asking for it. Seeing that Night Sorrow's spear momentum did not change, Ardent Wind let out a low roar. He increased the strength of his battle blade and continued to slash towards Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. He completely ignored Night Sorrow's 4 spear lights, because as long as he could shake off Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear, the threat of this spear would no longer exist. Bang! After the 2 weapons clashed, the collision of energy produced an explosive sound. Night Sorrow's weapon let out a buzzing sound, and the powerful energy vibrated, shaking off Ardent Wind's battle blade. At the same time, the speed of this spear thrust became even more ferocious, and the spear light directly shot out. This scene caused Ardent Wind's expression to change greatly. Instantly, a protective chi barrier appeared on his body, and he quickly retreated. With a hissing sound, Ardent Wind's protective chi barrier was pierced through. However, his retreating speed was fast enough so he was not injured. Is this enough? Lei Hua stood up and said. Ardent Wind nodded and looked towards Night Sorrow. This commander has lost this match. Your spear art is very tyrannical, and there are very few people within the 4th step who can contend against you. This is the Dongshan City's law enforcement token. With this token, you can mobilize the city's patrol team and Black Iron Guards. There are also some other privileges which you will slowly understand in the future. After speaking, Ardent Wind threw a red token to Night Sorrow. Then it settled. Commander Wind, later on, bring Night Sorrow to meet the Black Iron Guard captains in this area. It will be easier for us to communicate in the future. In addition, let Night Sorrow know some of the rules of Dongshan City. Night Sorrow, there are some things that I don't want others to know. Be careful. Lei Hua said. He knew that Night Sorrow might not think about bringing Manager Lin and Ardent Wind here, but with Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu's intelligence, they would be able to see some things. Nodding towards Night Sorrow, Lei Hua and Ardent Wind left the house. #KK First TX Elder. This young man is very powerful. If this subordinate doesn't use his fifth step cultivation in the end, he will be seriously injured, Ardent Wind said after leaving Night Sorrow's house. Yes, he is young, talented, and has strong combat ability. He is a seedling that needs to be paid attention to. The city lord also values him, so you must know, Lei Hua said. This subordinate understands. Ardent Wind nodded. Tonight, bring Yi Shan and the Black Iron Guards to meet with the subordinates. After dealing with this matter, bring the blood-robed guards to the Golden Flame Sect's territory and wait for orders, Lei Hua instructed Ardent Feng. While Night Sorrow was studying the token, Sikong Chiyu and Yang Lei returned. What token is this? Seeing Night Sorrow studying the token, Yang Lei took it. Dongxian City's law enforcement token, Night Sorrow said. Law enforcement token? That's even higher than the Black Iron Guard's captain. How did you get it? Sikong Chiyu looked at Night Sorrow in astonishment. Then Yi Shang explained what had just happened. The commander came personally? Tianji Tower's reputation isn't high enough for the City Lord's Mansion's commander to do such a thing. It seems that Senior Lei's identity is not simple, Sikong Chiyu said. Yes, he said that there are some things that he wants to keep a secret. He doesn't want others to know. Night Sorrow nodded. Is that so? But that's good. With official connections in the Eastern Xian region, the other forces won't be a threat to us. Otherwise, people would covet such a powerful house, Yang Lei said. In the evening, Night Sorrow rode the Tianyu to the City Lord's mansion. There, Night Sorrow met Steward Lin and Commander Feng. Steward Lin, bring him to see the Dongxian City's officials and law enforcement rules. This commander will call the Black Iron Guards over, Ardent Feng said. After entering a study, Steward Lin handed Night Sorrow a small booklet. Nodding, Night Sorrow began to study it. Since he had become Dongxian City's law enforcement, there were some rules that he had to abide by. After reading for a while, Night Sorrow understood how strict the Dongxian City's official rules were. The official rules and the law enforcement rules were completely different. The officials had to prioritize the benefits and stability of Dongxian City. If they bullied others for personal benefits, the outcome would be death. Chapter 345. Genius 1 second. Remember love go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. While Night Sorrow was looking at the law enforcement rules, Ardent Wind brought a few men in black armor into the room. Come, let me introduce you. This is Night Sorrow, the Night Enforcer. He lives in the back street not far from here. If there is any problem, you can go and find him. If there is any problem, you have to support him immediately. Night Sorrow, these are Captain Lu Jun, Captain Fan Zhongxiao, and Captain Zheng Cheng. Ardent Wind introduced the two parties. Lu Jun, Fan Zhongxiao, and Zheng Cheng cupped their hands towards Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow also bowed in return. Don't underestimate Night Sorrow. I was at a disadvantage when I used my spirit-severing stage 9 cultivation. Rank 4 cultivators are no match for him. Ardent Wind said. Subordinate understands. Lu Jun and the other two bowed. Be more serious. Your cultivation is higher than Night Sorrow's, but in terms of combat skills, you are far inferior to him. Night Sorrow's energy usage skills are not something you can catch up to. If you have time, you can learn from each other. Ardent Wind emphasized again. Night Sorrow exchanged a few words with everyone, left a few jars of wine, and left. Wine might be the best medium for communication between men. Only C, positive I version its I, he, is AB version. After Night Sorrow left, Ardent Wind and the others opened up the wine jars. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs.com. Commander, why did you arrange Night Sorrow to be a law enforcer? Our guard team has no use for such a young master soldier. Zheng Qing said. That's true. What is his background? Why does Commander have to give him face? Fan Zhongxiao also said. Do you think that I am flattering him and giving him face? Now, I am telling you seriously that I am not flattering him. If he was at the same cultivation level, the three of you together would not be his match. Ardent Wind put down the wine jars and looked at the three of them with a serious face. Commander, are you serious? Lu Jun looked at Feng Lai's solemn face and asked. Of course, when have we ever taken in a young master soldier? The other party was powerful. Love go little say. Ardent Wind frowned as he spoke. He was somewhat dissatisfied with Lu Jun's group's contempt. We understand. At this moment, Lu Jun and the other two withdrew their contempt. After opening the bottle, Ardent Wind's group of 4 drank to their satisfaction. The main reason was that Night Sorrow's wine was to their liking. Old Jing, let's go and ask for advice tomorrow and the day after. Let's see how powerful our night enforcement is, said Lu Jun. You guys are aiming for his wine. However, you have to take my words to heart. In terms of combat skills, you guys are trash in front of him. Ardent Wind carried the last jar of wine and left under the eager gazes of Lu Jun and the other two. Night Sorrow returned to the house and began cultivating. In the past, when he came out of Bamboo Garden Village, Night Sorrow felt that a second-stage essence-gathering cultivator was very powerful. He was very envious when he saw Yang Sen and the others hunting demonic beasts. Later, in the Medicine Valley, Night Sorrow saw many core condensation cultivators and felt that core condensation cultivators could be considered experts. However, as he gained more experience, he felt that only the spirit-severing stage was enough. Only then could he get the Black Eye of Tianji Tower and join the Tianji Tower. Now that he had entered the spirit-severing stage, Night Sorrow realized that his cultivation was still not enough. He couldn't see through the cultivation of the 3 Black Iron Guard captains he saw today. While Night Sorrow cultivated, Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei sat at the side and chatted with tea. The next day, when Night Sorrow was cultivating his spear art, Lu Jun, Fan Zhongxiao, and Zheng Qing came. Uncle Feng brought them to the martial arts practice field. You're all here. Sit. Night Sorrow greeted them. I've been to this house before, but it wasn't as stylish as it is now. Come. Let's spar first. Sister-in-law, please arrange lunch for us. That needs wine, Lu Jun said. You came to bully me and you want to eat and drink for free? Night Sorrow said with a smile. This is a spar. We need to improve together. As the host, don't you want to receive us? Lu Jun said with a smile. After a few jokes, Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu, Aunt Feng, and the serving girls went to prepare the dishes. Lord Governor, please allow us to experience your combat techniques. How about this? We will spar with the same cultivation base. Lu Jun spoke. Then Night Sorrow will ask the captains for advice. Night Sorrow didn't argue and went to the martial arts practice field with his reincarnation spear. Lu Jun also went to the field. Like Ardent Feng, Lu Jun's weapon was also a battle saber. Nodding at Night Sorrow, Lu Jun brandished her battle saber and attacked Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow waved his reincarnation spear and executed the 7-star glorious moon spear to fight with Lu Jun. As soon as the battle started, Lu Jun was suppressed. When they clashed head-on, Yi Chang's spiraling energy would push her battle saber away, while the spear would continue to press forward. Lu Jun's battle saber would block Yi Chang's reincarnation spear, but it would be pushed away by the vibrating energy that Yi Chang had infused into the spear. After exchanging over 20 moves, Lu Jun waved her empty left hand and retreated. I can't fight with this. Spiral force and vibration force can't be restrained. Then let me try. Fan Zhongxiao looked at Night Sorrow and went to the martial arts practice field with his battle saber. The following battle was the same as the previous one. Fan Zhongxiao couldn't fight with Night Sorrow if he used the same level of cultivation. Night Sorrow's body was tough and strong. With the addition of the spiral force and vibration force, they couldn't resist. If they used a higher level of cultivation, it would be meaningless. Our overlapping force isn't effective. We will be repelled before the true chi comes up, Lu Jun said with a frown. Lu Jun and the other two used the overlapping force technique. In front of Night Sorrow's spiral force and vibration force, they couldn't unleash their power. Then they chatted and sparred from time to time. At noon, Lu Jun and the other two drank with Night Sorrow. In the afternoon, the 3 of them left leisurely. These 3 fellows are here to drink. However, they are easy to get along with and don't put on any airs, Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow smiled. They are all straightforward men. Who doesn't lack wine? They are just here to interact. In the City Lord Residence's guard hall, Lu Jun and the other two were drinking tea to sober up. Night Sorrow is indeed worthy of the Lord Commander's high regard. Ignoring his other ultimate moves, just his spear art alone is hard for anyone below the 5th tier to contend with, Fan Zhongxiao said. Let's go when we have time. His spear art is good and the wine is good too. Lu Jun said with a smile. For the next few days, no one disturbed Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow cultivated quietly. He didn't really cultivate his spear art. If his cultivation didn't increase, the power of his spear art wouldn't be able to improve. Seeing that Night Sorrow didn't cultivate his spear art, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu dragged Night Sorrow to go shopping. Before they even left the residence, Night Sorrow was stopped by someone. "Are you the owners of this residence?" the leader asked. "I am. Who are you?" Night Sorrow frowned. He realized that the person had a high attitude and didn't have any good intentions in his eyes. "Scarlet Cloud Sect Chi Yuan. I have taken a liking to your residence. Move out in 3 days, Chi Yuan said. "Scarlet Cloud Sect. I have seen it. Why don't I move out?" Night Sorrow glanced at Chi Yuan and said, "Then don't blame us for being rude. If anything happens it won't be good for you," Chi Yuan said with a cold face. "Is this a threat?" Yang Lei said coldly. Chapter 346. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go Divided by Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Who are you threatening? Yang Lei was enraged. She drew her sword and slashed at Chi Yuan. She couldn't stand it. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.aichuxs. Chi Yuan also took out his weapon and fought with Yang Lei. The others also made their moves and rushed toward Night Sorrow. This was Dongshan City. Battles of all sizes occurred every day. It was a competition of strength. This was the law of the jungle. Doing business required backing and protection fees. Otherwise they would be devoured and suppressed. This was the way of the world. The guards didn't care about such matters. Dongshan City was too big. As long as they didn't cross the line and didn't touch the properties under the city lord's mansion, they would be fine. The battle was very intense. The people Chi Yuan brought were very strong. He was a tier 5, and the other middle-aged man was also a tier 5. There were also 3 tier 4 followers behind them. After the original owner of Night Sorrow's house was captured and killed by the city lord's mansion, Chi Yuan wanted to buy it. However, before he could figure it out, the house fell into Night Sorrow's hands. In the first few days, Chi Yuan didn't dare to make a move. If he didn't know the details he would easily run into a wall. After a few days, Chi Yuan didn't find anyone who came to Night Sorrow's house. He didn't know Lei Hua. Lu Jun wore casual clothes that day and came to visit casually. Chi Yuan's people didn't recognize her. Therefore, Chi Yuan determined that Night Sorrow only had some relationship with Steward Lin. He wasn't afraid of his relationship with Steward Lin. Steward Lin was a civilian official and wouldn't be involved in the battle. The battle was very intense. Night Sorrow and Ning Qingfeng crippled Chi Yuan's tier 4 followers. Take care of the others. After instructing Ning Qingfeng, Night Sorrow rushed toward Chi Yuan, who was fighting with Yang Lei. "All of you will die." Chi Yuan roared and waved his hand to send a signal. Soon after the signal was sent out, more than a dozen people arrived. The old man in the lead knocked Yang Lei back with a palm strike. Then Sikong Chuyu also retreated to Night Sorrow's side. "Love Gong Little Seiko, what's going on?" The old man looked at Chi Yuan. "Uncle, they are not willing to back down for this house. They want to fight us to the death," Chi Yuan said. At this moment, hundreds of black-feathered eagles appeared in the sky. Then people jumped down from them. Bang! Bang! Following the violent stomping of the ground, the black-armored guards surrounded the people from the Scarlet Cloud sect. The leading black-armored man walked up to Night Sorrow and lifted his helmet. "What's the situation?" The man who lifted his helmet was none other than the captain of the Black Iron Guards, Lu Jun. "Nothing much. It's just that they had their eyes on this house and wanted me to move out. I didn't agree, so they started fighting. Then their reinforcements appeared," Night Sorrow explained briefly. "How arrogant." Lu Jun laughed. "Sir, the Black Iron Guards only kill people who break the law, right? Our Scarlet Cloud sect pays crystal stones to the City Lord Mansion every year." "Sir, please don't interfere in this matter," the old man said. "That's normal, but not today. He is a Black Iron Guard of Dongshan City. Now that you are robbing the Black Iron Guards of Dongshan City. What a joke. Tell me, what should I do? Brothers, what should I do?" Lu Jun put down her mask. "Kill?" The Black Iron Guards roared. The old man's expression changed. Chi Yuan and the others also retreated in shock. "Captain, there's a misunderstanding here." The old man was Elder Chi Ying of the Scarlet Cloud sect. His scalp was tingling. He knew that he had caused a big mess today. Misunderstanding? You've already attacked, and now you're telling me that it's a misunderstanding? Take down everyone who attacked today. If you have the ability, fight back and run for me. Lu Jun sneered. Run? Who would dare to run? They might be able to run for a while, but they would definitely be caught. Moreover, if they ran, it would implicate the sect. If anyone dared to run today, the Black Iron Guards would wipe out the Scarlet Flame sect. A black iron guard wasn't scary, but there was a high commander above them. The black iron guard stepped forward and captured Qi Yuan and the other 4 who attacked. Drag them to the side and kill them. Don't dirty the road, Lu Jun ordered. Qi Ying's eyes twitched. 2 rank 5 elites were going to be killed just like that. However, he didn't dare to say anything or do anything. If he had the intention to resist, he would be taken down. At this moment, Ardent Wind appeared in black armor and a red cloak. This commander wants to have a drink and such a thing happened. Is this robbery? Ardent Wind looked at Lu Jun and asked. Yes. Lu Jun nodded. Then what are you waiting for? Why are you looking at this commander? Kill them. You are from the Scarlet Cloud sect, right? Remember this house. If anything happens here, you know the consequences. Scram. Ardent Wind roared at Feng Ying and the others. Take the corpses away. Seeing Qi Ying and the others leave, Lu Jun shouted again. Many thanks, Lord Commander. Many thanks, Big Brother Lu Jun brothers. Let's not talk about other things. Let's find a restaurant. Night Sorrow put away his reincarnation spear and said. I like your straightforward temper. Brothers, let's go. Ardent Wind shouted at Lu Jun and the other members of the Black Iron Guards. In a restaurant, Night Sorrow set up a banquet and entertained the Black Iron Guards with good wine and dishes. Lu Jun, pass the signal to Night Sorrow. There are too many people who don't know their place. Our Black Iron Guards law enforcement house was robbed. Even if we didn't succeed, it would be embarrassing, Ardent Wind said. Lu Jun nodded and took out a few small iron pipes and handed them to Night Sorrow. The banquet lasted for a long time before Ardent Wind and the others left. It's really not good to not have an official status. There will be conflicts at any time, Yang Lei said with some regret. That old man's cultivation is very high. He's at the mid-5th rank. 9th senior sister and I can't stop him. However, Commander Feng's cultivation is even higher. If he dares to show a trace of dissatisfaction or even a trace of resistance, he will still be killed, Sikong Chuyu said. The Golden Fire sect and the Scarlet Cloud sect hate us to the core. We can't hide the news of our arrival in Dongshan City from them. They won't dare to make a move in Dongshan City, but they will still keep an eye on us, Yang Lei said. At this moment, in a courtyard belonging to the Scarlet Cloud sect, Qi Ying flew into a rage and smashed the tea set into pieces. Elder, the results are out. Those people are from the Medicine Valley. That young man is Night Sorrow, the disciple of the Medicine Valley's Valley Lord. The woman in the blue dress is also a disciple of the Medicine Valley's Valley Lord. There is no news about the woman in the white dress, a disciple of the Scarlet Cloud sect said. Send people to keep a close eye on their movements. In addition, pass down my order. If there is any conflict with the Medicine Valley, no matter how big or small, they have to back down, Qi Ying ordered. He was sullen when he gave this order. As one of the 7 superpowers of the Eastern Shen domain, he had to back down to the Medicine Valley, a first-class force. Look at the section of $_ chapter -- Chapter 347. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go /small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. After leaving the restaurant, Night Sorrow and the others casually strolled around the street before returning to the house. The house now had a name. On the lintel were the words, Pure Heart Villa. It was a name given by Sikong Chuyu. 13. Today's matter wasn't too troublesome, right? Ning Qingfeng asked. I've made Big Brother Ning worry. I have an official status, so they won't dare to touch us openly, Night Sorrow said. After spending some time together, Night Sorrow and Ning Qingfeng's family had become familiar with each other. They were much more casual with the way they addressed each other. That's good. This world is really chaotic. Be careful when you go out in the future, Han Lin said. Big Brother Ning, this is the Black Iron Guard's message signal. If anyone comes looking for trouble when I'm not around, send a signal for help. The safety of this place is very important. Night Sorrow gave Ning Qingfeng one of the Black Iron Guard's message signals. Ning Qingfeng nodded. He wasn't afraid of dying in battle, but the safety of this house was more important. Then Night Sorrow and the others returned to the backyard. There shouldn't be any problems. Commander Feng came here by coincidence, but he also said that he would inform the other commanders. Also, the Red Cloud sect won't continue to make things difficult for us. They aren't afraid of us, but they are afraid of the power of the City Lord Mansion, Night Sorrow said. You improve your cultivation. We'll go back to the Medicine Valley to take a look. Yang Lei nodded. She was still worried about the situation in the Medicine Valley. After nearly a month and a half of cultivation, Night Sorrow's cultivation had improved a lot. His chi wasn't far from the peak of the 5th level of the spirit-severing stage. His cultivation of the myriad Dao Tome was about to reach the peak of the bone-forging stage. However, Night Sorrow didn't have many Flood Dragon bone-forging pills left. Night Sorrow calculated that it was enough to last him until he broke through to the bone-forging stage. While Night Sorrow was cultivating, Ardent Wind also reported the situation with Night Sorrow to Lei Hua. After hearing Feng Lai's report, Lei Hua's face turned cold. You still need to go to the Golden Flame Sect's area and wait for orders. Go to the Blood Strike Guard's base and call Commander Qin over. If I don't teach this Scarlet Flame Sect a lesson, they really won't know how strong they are. Yes. Ardent Wind bowed and went to make the arrangements. If this had happened to any other Iron Guard, Lei Hua wouldn't have paid so much attention to it. However, Night Sorrow's identity as a member of the Tianji Tower was personally instructed by Wu Lingfei to take care of him. Lei Hua couldn't be careless at all. Even if he had to remove the Scarlet Cloud Sect's influence in Dongshan City, he couldn't let anything happen to Night Sorrow. While Lei Hua was thinking about this, a woman wearing black armor appeared in front of him. Qin Nan greets Elder. The black-armored woman bowed. She was the commander of the Blood-Robed Guard. Go and make the arrangements. Get rid of a few members of the Scarlet Cloud Sect who are at the 5th stage and above, Lei Hua said. I'll do it right away. Qin Nan nodded. There's another mission. Pay close attention to Night Sorrow's situation. If there's any existence that threatens Night Sorrow, get rid of them. Ignore those of the same level, Lei Hua said. All right, but I have a few questions, Qin Nan said. Speak. Lei Hua nodded. Since the City Lord isn't here, the Blood-Robed Guard will obey Elder's orders. However, is it appropriate for Elder to transfer half of the Blood-Robed Guard's forces to the Golden Flame Sect? Qin Nan asked Lei Hua. The fact that you're asking these questions proves that you're very loyal to the City Lord. This is the City Lord's will. I'm going to see the City Lord. Come with me. Lei Hua said as he stood up. Qin Nan was the commander of the Blood-Robed Guard and had followed Wu Lingfei for many years. She didn't doubt Wu Lingfei's loyalty, so Lei Hua planned to take her to see Wu Lingfei. On a mountain north of Dongshan City, Lei Hua and Qin Nan met Wu Lingfei. Greetings, Your Excellency. Qin Nan knelt on one knee. Stand up and speak. I haven't been in the city all these years, so I've troubled you a lot. Wu Lingfei waved her arm and used her energy to help Qin Nan up. Your Excellency, I have something to say. Lei Hua bowed. Speak. You and Qin Nan have followed me for the longest time. There's nothing to hide. Wu Lingfei nodded. Night Sorrow is very likely a descendant of the Night Moon dynasty. He has an innate bloodline. I've investigated it and found that not only does he have the power of space, but he also has a special attribute. I've never seen that attribute before, but it's similar to the legendary Void attribute, Lei Hua said. Then he should be a descendant of the Night Moon dynasty. Pay attention to his safety. As I said before, don't interfere in battles between people of the same level. If anyone tries to take advantage of their seniority, kill them, Wu Lingfei said. A few days ago, in order to avoid unnecessary trouble, I arranged for him to be a law enforcer in the Black Iron Guard. In the end, some people from the Scarlet Cloud Sect tried to rob his house yesterday and there was a conflict, Lei Hua said. Scarlet Cloud Sect. Their arrogance knows no bounds. Qin Nan, because of Lei Hua's status, it's inconvenient for him to show up. When it's necessary, you'll do your best to help. Wu Lingfei said. Had. Your Excellency, Qin Nan bowed. Although the strength of the Eastern Xian region can't be easily destroyed, some branches still have to be dealt with. Wu Lingfei muttered to herself. Lei Hua, arrange for the venerables of the Tianji Tower to go to the Golden Flame Sect's area. If the Golden Flame Sect tries to deal a fatal blow to the Medicine Valley, then act immediately. Since the Golden Flame Sect and the Medicine Valley can't coexist, then leave one behind. Remember, Night Sorrow is my benefactor, and he's also very important to the Eastern Xian region. You'll understand in the future. Wu Lingfei ordered. There's one more thing, which is the main purpose of this subordinate's visit. Last time, this subordinate only told you that Night Sorrow has the Destiny Stone. Now I know that the supervisor of the Tianji Tower has made a deal with him and wants to borrow it. Isn't the Destiny Stone very important to Milord? Is it appropriate for him to leave the Eastern Xian region? Lei Hua asked. I know about this matter. I've seen the Destiny Stone before. He doesn't need it now. Let him make his own decision. Wu Lingfei shook her head and said. Then Lei Hua and Qin Nan left the area where Wu Lingfei was cultivating. Elder, What's the situation with Night Sorrow? How could Milord be indebted to him? Qin Nan asked, puzzled. If Milord says so, then there must be. You know that this subordinate has a status in the Tianji Tower, so it's not convenient for me to appear. After all, the Tianji Tower has many restrictions on its members. You have to pay attention to Night Sorrow. This is the main reason why this subordinate brought you to see Milord today. I'm afraid that if you don't take it seriously, you'll make a mistake. Lei Hua said to Qin Nan. This subordinate will definitely carry out Milord's orders without hesitation. Then I'll eliminate a few high-level members of the Scarlet Cloud sect and teach them a lesson. Qin Nan nodded and said, later you'll go and see Night Sorrow. He's now the enforcer of the Black Iron Guards. It's appropriate for you to meet him. Lei Hua said. All right, Milord's aura seems to have changed. Is he about to reach the legendary realm? Qin Nan asked, his eyes full of curiosity. Chapter 348. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. It's good that you've recovered. I haven't been by Lord's side for too long, so I've been feeling uneasy. Seeing Wu Lingfei gave her a sense of confidence. Qin Nan said. Seeing Wu Lingfei gave her a sense of confidence. Lord said that after these years of stability, the 9 regions and 18 prefectures will experience turmoil again. So we have to focus on improving our cultivation while paying attention to the situation, Lei Hua said. Then I'll take my leave first. I'll go investigate the people with bad records in Scarlet Cloud sect. Their heads will fall to the ground tomorrow. Qin Nan nodded to Lei Hua and left. Night Sorrow cultivated the whole night. After getting up, he practiced spear techniques for a while, stretched his muscles and then sat down to rest. The things that happened one after another put a lot of pressure on him. It also made him understand that strength was the foundation of everything. Love go little say W. Chu, what are you thinking about? You're so engrossed. Sikong Chuyu came out of the pavilion and sat beside Night Sorrow. Yishang reached out and grabbed a bamboo leaf that had been blown away by the wind. He looked at it and said, it's autumn again. It's been 2 years since I left Bamboo Garden Village. Too many things have happened in these 2 years. I've seen the world clearly. Indeed, many things have happened. It wasn't this chaotic in the past 10 or 20 years. Yang Lei lifted her skirt and ran a few steps to sit beside Night Sorrow. At this time, autumn rain began to fall. Night Sorrow, are you tired? If you're tired, you should rest for a few days. Sikong Chuyu held Night Sorrow's hand and said, I'm not tired. I'm just a little emotional. When I was in Bamboo Garden Village, Father would squat under the eaves and smoke in this kind of weather and tell me about the outside world. At that time, I wondered what the outside world was like. It was much bigger than Bamboo Garden Village in Gunnan Town. My previous thoughts were too childish. Night Sorrow said with a smile. You've experienced a lot in the past 2 years, but you've also gained a lot. You've tricked Chuyu into your hands, and Ninth Senior Sister has also benefited you. Yang Lei leaned on Yishan's body as she spoke. What are you doing? Yang Lei said as she leaned on Yishan's body. Night Sorrow held Sikong Chuyu in Yang Lei's hands and said, that's why I will cherish it. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow decided to cultivate. Just then Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin entered the backyard. Big brother Ning, sister-in-law, come and sit. Looking at Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin in the drizzle, Sikong Chuyu waved her hand and called the 2 people to come to this pavilion. 13 Your sister-in-law went to buy groceries today and heard about something big. 3 experts from the Scarlet Cloud sect were killed in a single move. They didn't even have the strength to fight back. After entering the pavilion, Ning Qingfeng said. Let's go, Ning Qingfeng said after entering the pavilion. Could it be someone from the City Lord's mansion? Night Sorrow muttered in surprise. That should be the case. It's obvious that they're targeting the Scarlet Cloud sect. If it were any other reason, they would only kill 1 person. However, they killed 3 people in a row. It's said that among the 3 people killed, the one with the highest cultivation base was the person in charge of the Scarlet Cloud sect in Dongshan City. He was a late 5th Order warrior. Only a venerable would be able to kill him. Ning Qingfeng explained in detail. Let's go out and take a look. Night Sorrow looked at the sky. The rain had stopped and Night Sorrow decided to go out and take a look. This was no longer a small matter. Before Night Sorrow and company reached the entrance of the residence, someone appeared. It was Lu Jun and Qin Nan. Lord Commander, it's here. Lu Jun looked at the lintel of the residence and said, Big brother Lu Jun, you're here. Why are you standing at the entrance? Who is this? Night Sorrow and company came to the entrance and greeted Lu Jun when they saw her. Night Sorrow, let me introduce you. This is Lord Commander Qin Nan. Lord Commander wanted to take a look, so I brought him here, Lu Jun said. Night Sorrow turned his head and sized up Qin Nan. Qin Nan was dressed casually today. He was wearing a tight-fitting blue shirt with a long robe outside. His long hair was tied up simply at the back of his neck. Greetings, Lord Qin Nan. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Qin Nan. Aren't you going to invite this commander in? Qin Nan sized up Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei before looking at Night Sorrow with sharp eyes. Lord Commander, please? Night Sorrow turned sideways and gestured for Qin Nan to enter. He knew that Qin Nan was very aggressive. It could be seen from his eyes. When they arrived at the backyard, Night Sorrow personally brewed tea and received him. Ardent Wind had something to do and left. You will be under this seat from now on. This seat doesn't want soft persimmons. Why did you stop the matter 2 days ago? Qin Nan took a sip of tea and asked. Even if I didn't stop, I wouldn't have been able to defeat them, Night Sorrow said. Aren't the Black Iron Guards here? Why don't we just get rid of all of them? Qin Nan said. I'm a newbie and can't cause trouble for the Black Iron Guards. Besides, they didn't know that I'm a member of the Black Iron Guards. It's considered an accidental injury, Night Sorrow said after thinking for a moment. The Black Iron Guards don't discriminate between old and newbies. There's no such thing as trouble. Accidental injury? If accidental injury can be forgiven, then Dongshan City is filled with accidental injuries every day, Qin Nan said coldly. WS forever a #exempt. E-fee depends on M_X says 0 heavy killing intent. Night Sorrow realized that Qin Nan's killing intent was much heavier than Ardent Wind's. Night Sorrow didn't reply. He guessed that the experts from the Scarlet Cloud sect might have been killed by Qin Nan. The Black Iron Guards have a strict system. They don't bully others and don't use their status to gain benefits for their family. This is something that must be obeyed. However, they also need to make a living. If they can't even protect their family, how can they protect Dongshan City? Qin Nan said. Night Sorrow understands. Night Sorrow nodded. Come. Since you can withstand the attack of Ardent Wind's grade 9 spirit severing stage, then this commander will give it a try. Qin Nan arrived at the training field and waved his hand, taking out a long sword. Looking at Qin Nan's long sword, Night Sorrow was startled. It was a flexible sword that was only as wide as a thumb and was 4 to 5 feet long. It was a strange weapon. Night Sorrow wore the Azure Claw glove on his left hand and held the reincarnation spear in his hand. He was worried that Qin Nan might have some strange tricks up his sleeve. Make your move. Ardent Wind was trained by this commander. I want to see how he will lose. Qin Nan looked at Night Sorrow and said. Night Sorrow nodded and executed the spiral energy. He waved his hand and shot out 4 times. Then his body moved quickly. He didn't dare to be careless. First, he realized that Qin Nan's killing intent was heavy and that he was using a strange weapon. Then he heard that Ardent Wind was trained by Qin Nan. Qin Nan didn't move. He waved his right hand and the flexible sword turned into a whip, lashing towards Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. Pah, pah. The flexible sword struck the body of the reincarnation spear, causing Yishang's reincarnation spear to tremble. The direction of the attack was slightly off. Then, the flexible sword was like a spirit snake as it wrapped around Yishang's reincarnation spear and stabbed towards Yishang's arm. Night Sorrow's true chi went berserk and the vibration energy exploded. The reincarnation spear let out a buzzing sound and bounced off the flexible sword. After the first exchange of blows, Night Sorrow began his second round of attacks. The reincarnation spear's body executed the vibration energy and the tip of the spear executed the spiral energy. Once again he attacked Qin Nan. Chapter 349. Genius 1 second. Remember love goes/little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow used the oscillating force and shook off Qin Nan's soft sword. This made Qin Nan's eyes brighten. He then flicked his right hand and the soft sword pierced straight towards Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow retreated and at the same time borrowed the force to shoot out his spear. 4 spears in a row aimed towards Qin Nan's soft sword. The spiraling force caused Qin Nan's soft sword to deviate. Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear continued to pierce forward. In the first move, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was deflected and the spiraling force was not displayed. Now that he used the oscillating force to deflect Qin Nan's weapon, the spiraling force was displayed. Qin Nan's feet shook and he retreated a few steps. He waved his right hand and folded his soft sword a few times to block the reincarnation spear's tip. He then continued to shake his wrist and fiercely flicked it. The energy collision caused Night Sorrow to retreat a few steps, but Qin Nan was pushed back even more. Night Sorrow's body flashed as he brandished his reincarnation spear and once again charged towards Qin Nan. Qin Nan's right arm danced. The 4 to 5 chi long soft sword was like a spirit snake. When he needed to defend, he would bend and fold his soft sword to block the reincarnation spear. Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear's spiraling force could only deflect the first few folds. It could not deflect the back and could not penetrate it. After Qin Nan finished defending, he poured his true qi into his soft sword. The soft sword became a hard weapon and attacked Night Sorrow. However, Night Sorrow's oscillating force was infused into the spear. The reincarnation spear was able to deflect the long sword and remove the threat. Night Sorrow felt that this was not good. Even though Qin Nan was at a disadvantage, his true qi was abundant and he would be at a disadvantage if he consumed it. With this idea in mind, Night Sorrow changed his tactics. After waving his hand and shooting out 4 spears, Night Sorrow controlled the myriad Dao Tome's energy and poured it into the reincarnation spear. G square root, forever, jiu 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 jiu, ding, ding. 4 crisp sounds rang out consecutively. The spiraling energy at the tip of Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear had knocked away the first 4 layers of Qin Nan's flexible sword. Following that, the energy of the myriad Dao Tome exploded, displaying the vibrating energy. A crisp sound rang out once again. The last 3 layers of Qin Nan's flexible sword had been repelled by Night Sorrow's myriad Dao Tome. Under Qin Nan's shocked gaze, Night Sorrow's true energy burst forth once more. This time Night Sorrow used wave force. The true qi supported by wave force rushed towards Qin Nan's 2 layers of flexible swords. As the energy ripples appeared from the collision, Qin Nan's body flew back 2 feet. At that moment, Night Sorrow's body soared into the air. Once again, his 4 spears combined into one as he rushed towards Qin Nan. His body's energy and his primary energy took turns attacking. The 3 types of energy were constantly changing, not giving Qin Nan any opportunity to attack. This scene made Lu Jun dumbfounded. Was this still a battle between spirit-severing intermediate-stage cultivators? Qin Nan was the great commander of the City Lord's mansion. He commanded all the guards. No matter if it was the power on the surface or the secret power that Lu Jun only knew of, they were all under Qin Nan's jurisdiction. Not only was Qin Nan's cultivation high, but his combat ability was also strong. However, he was now suppressed by Night Sorrow. It was very difficult. Even if Qin Nan suppressed his cultivation, his understanding of combat skills, tactics and energy usage was extremely high. As the battle raged, Night Sorrow's energy attribute changed. He didn't simply use his hands to let the cold energy of the mysterious jade spiritual energy cover his energy attribute. He directly activated the mysterious jade spiritual energy and attacked Qin Nan. Qin Nan's attribute had been revealed very early on. It was the wind attribute. His attacks were fast and strange. As soon as Night Sorrow's extremely cold mysterious jade spiritual energy appeared, it followed the reincarnation spear and bombarded Qin Nan's flexible sword. Following that, the white mysterious jade spiritual energy attacked Qin Nan's arms. Qin Nan was startled. He then took a few steps back and waved his left hand to imprison Night Sorrow, who was still attacking. There's no need to fight. After speaking, Qin Nan released the restraints on Night Sorrow. He looked at the cold light on the flexible sword in his hand. No one knew what he was thinking. Thank you, Lord, for your guidance. Night Sorrow put away his reincarnation spear and bowed to Qin Nan. He had fought to his heart's content. Very good. Let's not talk about cultivation. Your understanding of combat and control of energy usage is something that this commander can't compare to. Ardent Wind's level is indeed not enough to look at in front of you. Qin Nan shook his arm and put away his flexible sword. Lord Commander's folding force is even more profound. Night Sorrow said. It's a bit embarrassing to say this. You don't have to be polite. Lu Jun, if you have time, you should really study your combat skills. This is something real. When fighting with someone of the same cultivation level, combat experience and skills are very important. Qin Nan looked at Lu Jun and said, I understand. Lu Jun bowed. After watching the battle between Night Sorrow and Qin Nan, she already had a deep understanding of it. Many people pursue the improvement of their cultivation level and realm. They think that this is the most important thing. In fact, this is not wrong. After entering the supremacy realm, one's control and understanding of energy is what they rely on. However, if one's skills in using energy are high, they can easily crush opponents of the same level, Qin Nan said. Thank you for your advice, Lord Commander. Lu Jun bowed. Knight Sorrow, this commander has a few words to say to you. If you want to stand firmly in this world, you need many factors such as backing, relationships, and so on. The most important thing is to be ruthless. As long as others provoke you, kill them until they are afraid, Qin Nan said. What happened last night, was it arranged by the commander? Yishang asked directly. Yes, those few pieces of trash have done a lot of inhumane things. In the past, I didn't think it was necessary, so I didn't punish them. Now that they want to test the strength of our Black Iron Guards, let's see if they can withstand it. Qin Nan sneered, not putting the Scarlet Cloud sect in his eyes at all. 3 rank 5 cultivators and a late-stage rank 5 cultivator were the backbone of a sect. However, because Qin Nan wanted to show them the strength of the Black Iron Guards, they were directly eliminated. If such an incident happened in the Medicine Valley, it would definitely be a huge blow to the sect. Even if the Scarlet Cloud sect had many experts, this incident would still be a huge blow to them. In the headquarters of the Scarlet Cloud sect in Dongshin City, Qi Ying's face was gloomy. The 3 corpses of the sect's members were placed in the hall. The fatal injuries were on their heads. There were thumb-sized holes on their foreheads. Crimson Shadow understood the reason for this. The Scarlet Cloud sect had offended someone they shouldn't have. Now they had lost 5 Tier 5 members in 3 days. Currently, the Scarlet Cloud sect only had 2 Tier 5 members left in Dongshin City. Protector Yunjia, you stay here first. This seat will return to the sect. No matter what happens, don't retaliate. This seat will report to the sect master and ask the Venerable to come over. Otherwise, our Scarlet Cloud sect will be suppressed by other forces, Qi Ying said to a man beside him. Chapter 350. Geniuses remember love in 1 second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. After staying for a while, Qin Nan left. This made Lu Jun, who wanted to get some drinks, unable to do so. She could only follow her and leave. Lu Jun arranged some people to patrol this street. If anything happens, inform me immediately. Qin Nan instructed. But they might not stay in Eastern Shen City forever. Last time when we were drinking, I heard them say that they plan to return to the Medicine Valley, Lu Jun said. Just observe carefully. This guy's comprehension ability is really strong. It's really rare to have such comprehension before the age of 20, Qin Nan said. Yes, but his cultivation base is a little low, Lu Jun said. So what if his cultivation base is low? Has anyone reached the 5th level of the Divine Severing Realm after cultivating for 2 years? It's only a matter of time before one's cultivation base increases. However, combat talent is very hard to come by. You haven't participated in a real bloody battle, so you don't know. In fact, in the later stages, when everyone's cultivation base is almost the same, combat talent and combat ability are especially important. For example, many people can't enter the Venerable Realm and are only at the peak of the 5th level. Then, a combat talent like Night Sorrows can definitely kill a group of people. Qin Nan glared at Lu Jun and said, I understand, Lu Jun said. You don't understand at all. It's very difficult for a Void Inquiry stage cultivator to enter the Venerable Realm. It's a problem for many people. Then what about the Venerable Realm cultivator entering the Saint Realm? This step is a natural moat. Under the situation where there are no saints, do you know what an invincible Venerable Realm cultivator is? Qin Nan looked at Lu Jun and said. Lu Jun thought for a while and nodded. Then let me tell you the truth. The strength of our Eastern Shen region belongs to the bottom among the 9 regions. We have few venerables and cultivators. But why don't people from other regions come to our Eastern Shen region to snatch our territory? It's because our Eastern Shen region has an invincible Venerable Realm cultivator. Alright, it's enough that you know Night Sorrow's importance. Qin Nan shook her head. She knew that it was useless to say this to Lu Jun. Lu Jun and the others could be experts, but it was impossible for them to reach the peak because they did not have much potential. After sending Qin Nan away, Night Sorrow concluded the battle. He realized that his attack power was fierce, but it was difficult to deal with people with high flexibility. Think about what? Zikong Chiyu asked. My attack power is still lacking. I can't take down opponents with high tenacity, Night Sorrow said. It's a good thing to be enlightened, but don't ask too much of yourself. She used spatial shackles in the end to stop you from fighting. What does that mean? It meant that she was a venerable one. Although she's fighting with the same cultivation level as you, Her understanding and fighting skills are all at the venerable level, Sikong Chuyu said. That's right. Night Sorrow, have you ever thought about this? Even if your combat skills don't improve, as long as your cultivation increases and you enter the Exalt realm, your combat power won't be any weaker than theirs, said Yang Lei. I understand, but there's no end to cultivation. It's good to learn more, Night Sorrow said. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu looked at each other. What could they say? Not allowing Night Sorrow to work hard? The only thing they could do was to take care of Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow continued to cultivate his spear art. He wanted to let his 3 energy techniques change freely. This way, it would be impossible for his opponents to guard against him in battle. U forever Y forever Z fee free. Read novels. After cultivating his spear art for a while, Night Sorrow drank some tea with the 2 girls and went to the secret room to cultivate his foundation. Night Sorrow cultivated by consuming the spiritual origin liquid and the dragon bone forging pill. He wanted to increase his cultivation level as soon as possible. Now that the situation was changing, no one could predict what would happen in the next moment. The next few days were peaceful. No one came to disturb Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow didn't even leave the secret room during the day. He worked hard to increase his cultivation level. 3 days later, Night Sorrow's cultivation of the Myriad Dao Tome reached a bottleneck. Night Sorrow stabilized his cultivation level and increased his true qi at the same time. After cultivating for another 2 days, his true qi was not far from the bottleneck. Night Sorrow decided to break through the Myriad Dao Tome first. After making the decision, Night Sorrow sorted out his emotions and started to break through. Night Sorrow wanted to strengthen the bone marrow in his skull. This was the only bone marrow in his body that had not been strengthened. Once the strengthening was completed, he would enter the 4th realm of the Myriad Dao Tome, the consolidation realm, and strengthen his internal organs. Night Sorrow controlled the circulation of the Myriad Dao Tome's energy and started to strengthen his bone marrow. With the strengthening, Night Sorrow felt a splitting headache. Others described the pain as bone-piercing, but Night Sorrow was enduring a bone-piercing pain. Night Sorrow's head kept on ringing. The intense headache made him feel dizzy. However, Night Sorrow knew that this was a crucial moment. He couldn't be careless. Night Sorrow's facial muscles, scalp, and hair were all vibrating. This was the result of the energy vibrations. Time passed by slowly. Night Sorrow's bone marrow in his skull was also strengthened bit by bit. The moment the bone marrow of the heavenly spirit bone was strengthened, Night Sorrow's head rumbled. Then a clear feeling spread to Night Sorrow's mind. Night Sorrow also noticed that there was an oval-shaped space 1 inch behind his forehead that was filled with fog. Spirit Ocean. This was the most mysterious part of a human's life, where the power of the soul was located. Regardless of whether it was an ordinary human or a cultivator, they all had a soul. The Spirit Ocean was where the soul was located. This was the place where mental energy and perception were produced. It was also the origin of the power of the soul. After opening the Spirit Ocean, Night Sorrow realized that his perception was much stronger. He could even feel the energy of heaven and earth in the air. After quietly stabilizing his cultivation, Night Sorrow took out the Myriad Dao Tome. He wanted to review the cultivation method of the consolidation realm of the Myriad Dao Tome. The consolidation realm of the Myriad Dao Tome strengthened the 5 chapters and 6 bowels of the body. It also assisted the cultivation of the Spirit Ocean. Night Sorrow understood how to strengthen the 5 chapters and 6 bowels of the body. He mainly looked at the cultivation of the power of the soul. This was related to the advancement in the future. The cultivation of the power of the soul was similar to the cultivation of true energy. It was to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to strengthen the soul. In the beginning, the power of the soul was weak and it was difficult to cultivate on its own. It needed to borrow the energy of the body to create a whirlpool in the head to absorb energy. The second stage was when the power of the soul could rotate on its own and it could cultivate on its own. Night Sorrow read the manual again seriously before putting it away. After putting away the manual, Night Sorrow continued to stabilize his cultivation and tried to cultivate his power of the soul. During this cultivation, Night Sorrow realized that there were traces of special energy in the heaven and earth entering his Spirit Ocean. It slowly strengthened his power of the soul. This made him very satisfied. After cultivating for 4 hours, Night Sorrow realized that his true energy was still some distance away from the bottleneck. He was not in a hurry to continue cultivating. After stretching his waist, Night Sorrow left the secret cultivation room. After leaving the secret cultivation room, Night Sorrow saw Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu training in the martial arts field. Chapter 351. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Essence Chi Smoke? I've heard of it a few times but I still don't understand it, Night Sorrow said. It's invisible to the naked eye, but it can be sensed with perception. It's the phenomenon of blood essence rushing through the Baihui acupoint on the top of your head and affecting the aura field in the sky, Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow released the soul power he had just unearthed and sensed it. He found that there was indeed a 5-foot-tall smoke-like figure above his head. I can feel it. It's 5 foot tall, Night Sorrow said as he retracted his soul power. You can feel it? This is something that can only be detected by cultivators above the 5th rank. The other Yao beasts and cultivators can only sense the strength of your vitality. Yang Lei looked at Yi Shang with some surprise. I can feel it. Because of the cultivation method, I've opened the spirit sea and can cultivate soul power, Night Sorrow said. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu looked at each other and pulled Night Sorrow into the main building's hall. 13 You said you opened the spirit sea? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Yes, I just opened it. Night Sorrow nodded. What's going on? I'm a bit confused, Sikong Chuyu said as he rubbed his forehead. How do you cultivate your soul power? Night Sorrow asked. Cultivate? You're saying your soul power can be cultivated? Yang Lei's eyes widened. At the same time, Sikong Chuyu's grip on Night Sorrow's arm tightened. Yes, it can't be that you can't cultivate, right? Night Sorrow realized that he might be mistaken. Bullshit. You know the complete Holy Cauldron scripture and Lushan Venerable's Heaven Essence Chi refining scripture. Is there a way to cultivate soul power in them? Our soul power grows naturally. Hurry up and tell me how to cultivate it, Yang Lei said excitedly. I'll talk about it first. Listen carefully and see if you can use it as a reference. I strengthened my flesh, blood, meridians, bones and bone marrow and opened up my divine sea. Then, I circulated the energy in my body and formed a vortex in my head. It drove the spiritual chi of heaven and earth into my divine sea, allowing my divine sea to absorb the energy to strengthen my soul, Night Sorrow said. Ninth Senior Sister, let's give it a try too. Let's see if we can replace Night Sorrow's energy with our vital energy, Sikong Chuyu said. What are you waiting for? Let's try it together. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu looked at each other and left together, leaving Night Sorrow alone in the hall. Night Sorrow helplessly made tea for himself. Then he went to the martial arts practice field, intending to cultivate his spear arts. When Night Sorrow arrived at the martial arts practice field, Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin were also there. They were also cultivating, but they only cultivated when Night Sorrow was not there. Big brother Ning, sister-in-law, is your leg okay? Night Sorrow asked. It's okay. Medicine Valley's pills are very effective. It's not a problem to fight now. If there's trouble, sister-in-law can help, Han Lin said with a smile. That's good. Ningyun, do you like it here? Night Sorrow looked at Ningyun and asked. I like it. I like Uncle and Auntie more. Ningyun ran to Night Sorrow and said. Okay, Uncle and Auntie will take you out to buy delicious food someday, Night Sorrow said as he squatted down and patted Ningyun's little face. Thank you, Uncle, Ningyun said. 13 I see that the vibration force you used is very strong but I can't use it. How can I change it? It's still my own reverberating force, Ning Qingfeng said. I don't know how to say it. Feel it slowly. Night Sorrow took out his reincarnation spear and stretched it out, letting Ning Qingfeng put his sword on it to feel it. This feeling lasted for a quarter of an hour. Thank you. Ning Qingfeng took 2 steps back and bowed to Night Sorrow. Big brother Ning is too polite. Sister-in-law, make me some delicious food later. Ninth Senior Sister and Chuyu are going to cultivate. Don't worry about me, Night Sorrow said as he patted his stomach. Okay, sister-in-law will arrange it for you. Han Lin was very happy that Night Sorrow used such an attitude to communicate with her. Ning Qingfeng and Han Lin left, but Ning Yun didn't leave. She wanted to stay here. Looking at Ning Yun, Night Sorrow also stopped cultivating. He took Ning Yun to the pavilion and took out the mysterious ice jade that Wu Lingfei gave him. He cut off a piece and began to repair the reincarnation spear's tip with his right hand. T7 View, top. Night Sorrow's hands were strong, so he wasn't afraid of being injured by the reincarnation spear. Others couldn't use the reincarnation spear that weighed more than 1,000 jin. After repairing the corner of the jade tablet, Night Sorrow had a thought and carved a cloud on the back. Looking at the front, Night Sorrow moved the tip of his spear and carved a cloud picture. Although the cloud picture wasn't detailed, it had a grand and magnificent feeling. Night Sorrow found a red string that he used to tie his hair and strung the jade tablet together and hung it around Ning Yun's neck. Do you like it? I like it. Thank you, uncle. But father and mother don't let me take other people's things. They will scold me. Ning Yun said with some apprehension. Just say that uncle gave it to you. They won't scold you. Go and play. Remember, don't leave the courtyard. Night Sorrow patted Ning Yun's shoulder and said with a smile. Ning Yun waved at Night Sorrow while running. Night Sorrow liked Ning Yun very much and envied Ning Yun for being able to live happily by his parents' side. After sending Ning Yun away, Night Sorrow began to cultivate his spear art. After the myriad Tao treasured tome leveled up, his body's strength increased again. The strength of his arms had exceeded 30,000 jin and was close to 40,000 jin. Even if he didn't use his true qi and the energy of the myriad Tao treasured tome, he could still fight against cultivators below the 4th rank. Waving the reincarnation spear, Night Sorrow cultivated the free conversion of oscillation force, wave force and spiral force. This way, no matter how experienced the opponent was, he wouldn't be able to adapt to it. Unless he used his cultivation to suppress the opponent, he wouldn't be able to withstand it. After cultivating for 2 hours, his body was covered in sweat. Night Sorrow went to take a bath and changed into a fresh white robe. The leveling up of the myriad Tao treasured tome made Night Sorrow very happy. He was even happier that he could cultivate his soul power. This was a milestone in the cultivation process. While Night Sorrow was resting in the hall, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu came out. Is it okay? Night Sorrow asked somewhat anxiously. This was too important. This was the key to entering the honorable realm. As long as one's soul power was strong, it would be easy to enter the honorable realm. We have a little idea. The two of us need to slowly think about it. The effect might not be obvious, but it will definitely be effective. Yang Lei said. Then you two can slowly think about it. Hearing that the two girls had a clue, Night Sorrow was very happy. While the three of them were talking, Han Lin came over and called them to eat. 13 You've been cultivating for many days. Today sister-in-law made a lot of delicious food. You guys must eat to your heart's content. Han Lin said with a smile. Uncle, father and mother didn't scold me. They said that since uncle gave me a gift I'll take it. However, I can't accept uncle's gifts in the future. Ning Yun, who was beside Han Lin, held the jade pendant around her neck and said. 13 This gift is too precious. Han Lin carried Ning Yun and said. Ning Yun will be a great expert in the future. The mysterious ice jade can calm the heart. The child will also need it in the future. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Night Sorrow, why are you practicing carving? Is there a secret? Yang Lei asked. Chapter 352. Genius 1 second. Remember love go divided by Shao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Seeing Night Sorrow stop to meditate, Yang Lei and the others didn't disturb him. Many cultivators would have an epiphany and shouldn't be disturbed. Baidu search AI go female sign Shao say www.ichuxs. After a while Night Sorrow exhaled, let's go. Night Sorrow just grasped the key point. When he was carving the jade pendant, Night Sorrow felt something was wrong and couldn't find the key point. After hearing Yang Lei's words, Night Sorrow understood. When he was carving the jade pendant, he concentrated and his soul power became more active. Coupled with the energy from the energy vortex in his head, his spiritual power increased faster. Seeing that Night Sorrow didn't say the reason, Yang Lei and the others didn't ask. Han Lin was very attentive. She, Aunt Feng and 2 servants prepared a table full of delicious food. Today is a happy day. Come let's drink. Night Sorrow took out a jar of 100 herb wine and poured a little for everyone. Uncle, can I drink? Ning Yun asked. You can't. When you grow this tall, Uncle will drink with you. Night Sorrow gestured at the height of his chest and said. After drinking a jar of wine and eating something, Night Sorrow asked Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu to accompany him on the street. After they were on the street, Night Sorrow went straight to the jade shop. What do you need? The owner of the jade shop asked. Jade materials and 3 sets of jade carving tools. Night Sorrow said. Then Night Sorrow bought a lot of good quality jade blanks. They were all peeled raw jade blanks. They were all top quality jade blanks. They were all priced at 20 mid-grade spirit stones. Night Sorrow didn't have any mid-grade spirit stones. Seeing that Night Sorrow took out high-grade spirit stones, Yang Lei helped pay the bill. After leaving the jade shop, Yang Lei asked, Why did you buy these? Of course it's useful. It's not just for me, it's for you guys as well. Remember back in the Celestial Apex Tower, Senior Lei Hua said that he used to practice carving to calm his mind. In reality that's not the case. He used it to cultivate his soul power, said Yishan. Are you sure? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow seriously. I'm sure. Today I carved a jade tablet for Ning Yun. Because I was serious and focused my mind, I felt a change in my soul power. Yishan nodded. That Lei Hua didn't tell us the truth. Yang Lei said with some dissatisfaction. This is too important. It can even be considered as an inheritance. No one will tell us easily. Besides, Night Sorrow hasn't reached the 5th grade yet. Even if he doesn't hide it, he won't tell us now. Sikong Chiyu said. In the future, when the two of you have something to do, other than cultivating normally, you can practice carving when you have nothing to do. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Night Sorrow, you should know that no matter how slow the improvement of your true chi cultivation is, there will be a day when you reach the peak of the void inquiry stage. At that time, with your strong soul power, you will definitely enter the venerable realm. Yang Lei said excitedly. What about Master? Master said that his mental state is good enough but his cultivation base isn't enough. What's going on? Night Sorrow asked the question in his mind. You have an innate bloodline but others also have other innate talents. Some people are born with strong soul power. Master might be such a person. He might also have strong perception. Even if his soul power is ordinary, he can also reach the realm of the unity of heaven and man with strong perception. Yang Lei explained to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow nodded, understanding the reason behind it. After returning to the Qing Xian small house, Night Sorrow divided the knives and the jade blank. The three of them were going to practice carving. Ninth senior sister, what Yishang said makes sense. I don't know if you've noticed, but jade carving masters and alchemy masters, even if their hair is white, their mental state is still very good, Sikong Chiyu said. Indeed. Our 13's perception is excellent. Chiyu, let's study how to cultivate our soul power later. Besides, with the help of jade carving, it won't be difficult for us to improve our soul power. Yang Lei was also full of confidence. Besides, I also believe in another saying. Those who are close to someone who possesses great luck will also be affected by karma and obtain great luck. Isn't that the case now? 13's luck is flourishing and the two of us have also benefited a lot from it. Sikong Chiyu said with a smile. After that, Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu went to study how to cultivate their soul power according to Night Sorrow's method. Night Sorrow took out the carving knife and began to practice carving. Using a special carving knife was indeed much more convenient than using the reincarnation spear. Night Sorrow took the jade blank and began to carve. The first thing he carved was Tianyu. After an hour, Night Sorrow carved out a motionless Tianyu. After sensing it, Night Sorrow discovered that his soul power had increased a little. Although it was just a little, it was still effective. After that, Night Sorrow continued to carve and used the Tianyu who was walking back and forth as the model. This didn't affect Night Sorrow's cultivation of true chi and the myriad Daos treasured tome. Although it wasn't as fast as meditating, his true chi and the myriad Daos treasured tome could operate on their own. The more Night Sorrow carved, the more he felt that his carving was similar to Tianyu's. After carving, all kinds of Tianyu were placed on the stone table in front of Night Sorrow. In the afternoon, Night Sorrow carved more than 20 Tianyu jade carvings. Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu also came out. Night Sorrow waved his hand at Ning Yun, who was playing by the waterside pavilion. Ning Yun, take these to play. Give 2 to Grandpa Feng and Grandma Feng. Thank you, Uncle. Ning Yun first picked 2 that she thought were pretty and gave them to Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu. Then she counted and took 7. This child is really sensible. His mind is pure and he doesn't have any greed. Sikong Chiyu said as he watched Ning Yun trotting away. That's why I like him very much. Have you made any progress? Night Sorrow asked. We've made some progress. Although the effect isn't great, it's very good. How about you? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Night Sorrow closed his eyes and felt for a moment. Then he nodded and said, not bad. That's good. 13. Tell this secret to eldest senior brother. I want to see eldest senior brother rise, Yang Lei said. Although she wanted to, she still had to ask for Night Sorrow's opinion. When we go back, we can tell eldest senior brother and other senior brothers about this method. In the future there will be more venerables in Medicine Valley, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, in fact, you don't have to keep pursuing jade carvings. You can cultivate alchemy. The effect won't be much worse. Sikong Chiyu expressed his opinion. Then we can try. I have 4th level and 5th level alchemy materials here. Although we don't need alchemy pills much, it's good for senior brother and sixth senior sister to refine them. Knight Sorrow nodded. He felt that Sikong Chiyu's words made sense. Practicing carving and eventually becoming a master of carving was just a pastime. However, becoming an alchemy master was different. It could be said that he had a promising future. Cultivators needed alchemy pills. No matter how high one's cultivation was, they needed alchemy pills. Even venerables had to be polite to an alchemy master. Who knew when one would ask for alchemy pills? Chapter 353. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go divided by Xiao? Xiao.net provides you with wonderful novels to read. After resting for a while, Knight Sorrow and the other two went out to the streets. Yishang wanted to buy some supplementary ingredients for alchemy. The main ingredients for Tier 4 pills were Spirit Calming Grass and Profound Tranquil Grass, and the Void Grass and Clear Void Grass for Tier 5 pills were all available to Yishang. However, he did not have any supplementary herbs. Supplementary herbs were cheap and not rare, so they could be bought at any pharmacy. After buying the ingredients at the medicine store, Yishang and the other two strolled around Dongshen City. 13. We have a house and a maid in Dongshen City. We should be considered city dwellers, Yang Lei said. We also have a villa in Danding City. We are city dwellers, Knight Sorrow said with a smile. Women love to shop. Knight Sorrow accompanied the two girls for a while and bought some delicious food. Yang Lei also bought some good wine for Knight Sorrow before the three returned to Qingxin Villa. After chatting with Ning Qingfeng for a while, Knight Sorrow went to cultivate. He felt that his qi cultivation had reached the peak of level 5 spirit severing stage in the past 2 days. He had to hurry up and improve his qi and soul power. The unification realm of the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome was a very mysterious realm. There was no bottleneck in the strengthening of the 5 viscera and 6 bowels. In other words, there was no need to break through. As long as he strengthened one aspect, he would automatically enter the next realm. At the unification realm, the most important thing was to cultivate the foundation of the soul power. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.ichuxs.com. After the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome entered the unification realm, the Flood Dragon Bone Forging Pill was useless. It could only be used as an external bone injury medicine. Knight Sorrow took out the Ice Spirit Blood Essence. He wanted to see if he could use it to aid his cultivation. The Ice Spirit Blood Essence contained an extremely strong blood essence. Knight Sorrow wanted to see if he could absorb the blood essence to cultivate. If he couldn't, he would have to think of other ways. There was already a gap between his cultivation of the Myriad Tao Treasured Tome and his cultivation of True Qi. He didn't want his cultivation of the Myriad Tao Treasured Tome to fall behind. Holding the Ice Spirit Blood Essence in his hands, Knight Sorrow started to absorb its energy. Following the circulation of the Myriad Tao Tome's energy, the blood essence of the Ice Spirit Blood Essence flowed through Knight Sorrow's arms and into his body. Being able to absorb it was a good sign, and following that, he had to refine it. Knight Sorrow was not worried about this because the Myriad Tao's energy was very powerful. It could even subdue Wu Lingfei's profound Jade Spirit Qi, let alone pure energy. As he absorbed it, Knight Sorrow discovered something that shocked him. The blood vitality produced by the Ice Spirit Blood Essence had a very high affinity with him. As it entered his body, it was directly assimilated. It was much faster than refining the Flood Dragon Bone Forging Pill. This kind of situation made Knight Sorrow very surprised. The effect was even stronger than eating pills. The cultivation of the Myriad Tao Treasured Tome could easily catch up with the cultivation of True Qi. Knight Sorrow didn't want to see the gap between the two be too big. At night, Knight Sorrow worked hard to cultivate his foundation. During the day he cultivated his spear arts and alchemy. 2 days later, Knight Sorrow's True Qi cultivation had risen to the peak of the 5th level of the spirit severing stage. After stabilizing his cultivation for a day, Knight Sorrow went to break through. He planned to enter the 6th level of the spirit severing stage and return to the Medicine Valley to take a look. He was more worried about the situation in the Medicine Valley. Now that the Red Cloud sect and the Golden Flame sect were hostile to the Medicine Valley, it was easy for a war to break out. The advancement of True Qi was a matter of course. After a night, Knight Sorrow's cultivation had risen to the 6th level of the spirit severing stage. After stabilizing his cultivation for a long time, Knight Sorrow left the secret cultivation room and continued to refine pills. Love Gong Little say, Chiang Lei and Sikong Chuyu have also been working hard to cultivate recently, and now he can't see them. Knight Sorrow's alchemy level is already very high. He has refined both the Tranquil Spirit Pill and the Tranquil Shen Pill, and he has refined a lot. When Night Sorrow was refining pills, Ning Qingfeng, Han Lin, and Ning Yun came to watch when they were free. After putting away a furnace of pills again, Night Sorrow looked at Ning Qingfeng and took out a few bottles of pills. This is the Spirit Congealing Pill. You and sister-in-law can use it for cultivation. These are 2 Tranquil Shen pills. You also need them. Forever free to read novels for a long time. 13 You can't do this. You also need it. Ning Qingfeng waved his hand and did not take the pills. Not to mention the Tranquil Spirit Pill, the Tranquil Shen Pill is extremely valuable. Many people can't buy it even if they have crystal stones. They are all monopolized by the major sections. If you are not a very accomplished alchemist, you can't refine it. And alchemists with profound alchemy attainments are generally trained by the major sects and families. If you can refine a level 4 Tranquil Shen Pill, you are a senior alchemist. If you can refine a level 5 pill, you are a grandmaster alchemist. I need it, but Big Brother Ning, you didn't see it. These are all refined by me. If I want to use them, I will refine them myself. Take it. Night Sorrow stuffed the pills to Ning Qingfeng. Ning Qingfeng nodded and took the pills. Ning Yun, when you cultivate, Uncle will provide you with pills. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Ning Yun was now training his body every day in preparation for cultivation. Although he likes Ning Yun very much, Night Sorrow didn't tell Ning Yun the cultivation method of the Myriad Tao treasure book. First of all, it is very risky. It will cause many people to covet it. In addition, without the assistance of pills, he can't cultivate the Myriad Tao treasure book. After stopping refining pills, Night Sorrow practiced his spear art. If he doesn't wave his reincarnation spear for a day, Night Sorrow will feel uncomfortable. Night Sorrow practiced his spear art for a while. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu came out of the room. Not bad, you have advanced. Seeing Night Sorrow's cultivation, Sikong Chuyu said. You are all out. How is the effect? Night Sorrow asked. The effect is very good. We have also tried to carve the jade tablet. It is also a shortcut. Many people are drunk on cultivation, alchemy and carving. No one connects the 2 together. This is really sad. Yang Lei said. It is not that no one connects the 2 together. It is that people who connect the 2 together do not say it. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei nodded. Indeed, people who can discover such a secret have already gone to eat meat in silence. No one will speak loudly. 6th level of Spirit Severing Stage. You do not lack pills. You will soon be able to cultivate to the 7th level of Spirit Severing Stage. When you reach the 7th level of Spirit Severing Stage, you can eat the Profound Calming Pill to improve your cultivation. Yang Lei said. She knew that when Night Sorrow returned to the Medicine Valley, it would definitely be a shock and would subvert many people's views on cultivation. I have refined a lot of pills. When I go back, I will give them to the senior brothers and senior sisters. Anyway, we do not need the rank 4 pills. Night Sorrow said. We really do not need the rank 4 pills. You have to give some to Big Brother Ning and sister-in-law. Yang Lei said. I have already given some to them. If there is nothing else, we will go back to the Medicine Valley. We have been out for a long time. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said. He knew that Yang Lei was a little anxious. Chuyu, what do you think? Yang Lei looked at Sikong Chuyu and asked. We have to go back and have a look. This matter is caused by us. It is not appropriate for us to pat our butts and leave. Sikong Chuyu said. Well, we will go to the Tianji Tower later to find Senior Lei Hua. We can take the transmission array and save a lot of time. Night Sorrow said. During dinner, Night Sorrow told Ning Qingfeng and his wife, Uncle Feng and Aunt Feng that he was going to leave. 13. Pay attention to your safety. You can rest assured here. When you are done, come back early. Han Lin said. Chapter 354. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by shao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. 13. Don't worry. No problem. Love divided by go divided by shao. Say www.ichux.com, Ning Qingfeng said. After dinner, seeing that it was still early, Night Sorrow and the others packed up and rode their flying demon beast to Tianji Tower. This time, seeing Night Sorrow, there was someone to greet them. No one dared to be rude. On the top floor, Night Sorrow saw Lei Hua and Yin Shui. Why are you here? Yin Shui asked. Ordinary people would be eager to get closer to Tianji Tower, but Lei Hua and Yin Shui knew that Night Sorrow wouldn't come to Tianji Tower for no reason. We plan to go back to Medicine Valley. It would be best if we could take the teleportation array, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Of course, no problem. You can go back through Stardow City or Golden Flame City. Love Gon Xiao say Chuin Shui said. The Golden Flame sect can't wait to strangle me. Let's not go. It's dangerous to go there. Night Sorrow shook his head and rubbed his nose awkwardly. That's fine. Who knows if they're up to no good. Let's go through Stardow City. In order to not expose your identity, you should wear a mask. Your fiancée doesn't have a Tianji Tower identity, so she'll cover her face with a veil. But Night Sorrow, you can ask your fiancée to apply for a Tianji Tower identity. She's so young and already at rank 5. She'll have no problem patrolling, Lei Hua said. Is that okay? Night Sorrow asked. Lei Hua nodded. Sure. Her performance in the early stages was outstanding, but it wasn't outstanding, so she wasn't qualified to receive Black Star's attention. But now that she's rebounding strongly, it shouldn't be a problem for her to be an inspector. It just depends on whether she's willing or not. If she's willing, then all 3 of you will be members of Tianji Tower, and it'll be convenient for you to do anything. Ninth Senior Sister, what do you think? Night Sorrow looked at Yang Lei. After all, it was up to Yang Lei to decide. Of course I have no problem with that. Then I'll have to trouble the 2 seniors. Yang Lei cupped her hands towards Lei Hua and Yin Shui. Since you're willing, I'll help you report it. Alright, let's set off. Lei Hua stood up and put on his mask. Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu also put on their masks. Night Sorrow's silver mask with flames was very beautiful. Yin Shui took out a bronze mask and handed it to Yang Lei, who was about to cover her face with a veil as she said, Take this first. We'll report it to the headquarters. There's no way they won't approve it. We won't send it to you when the time comes. Yang Lei nodded and took the mask. Yin Shui gave her the same bronze mask as Sikong Chuyu's. Then, under Lei Hua's lead, the group arrived at the teleportation hall. Lei Hua handed over the spirit stones, and the 4 of them stood on the teleportation array. After the guards placed the spirit stones in place, Night Sorrow once again felt the large space spinning. However, it only lasted for a while before the space stabilized. Then, under Lei Hua's lead, the 3 of them walked out of the teleportation array. The guards of the Southern Dipper sect who were guarding the teleportation array saw the masks they were wearing. They bowed and didn't say anything. This kind of mask was everywhere, and everyone knew that it was the symbol of Tianji Tower. What about you guys? Be careful. With this mask there won't be any problems. After they were some distance away from the teleportation array, Lei Hua said. Thank you for your hard work, Senior, Night Sorrow said. Let's go back. If you want to go to Dongshan City, take the teleportation array here. If there's a problem, I'll settle it with the people of the Southern Dipper sect. Lei Hua nodded to Night Sorrow's people and returned to the teleportation array. He had sent them here, so it was time for him to go back. After leaving Stardow City, Night Sorrow's group rode on their flying demonic beasts and set off for Medicine Valley. Ninth Senior Sister, if there's a suitable demonic beast, let's exchange it for the Azure Condor. Night Sorrow said. It really doesn't have much potential. If there's a suitable mount, I'll leave it at Taishan Peak to retire. Yang Lei nodded. Night Sorrow's Tianyu was already at the peak of the 3rd rank, and Sikong Chuyu's Fire Phoenix was already at the middle of the 4th rank. The Azure Condor was no longer suitable for him. Tianyu hasn't advanced during this time. Is it stuck? Night Sorrow asked as he looked at the Tianyu beneath him. You don't understand demonic beast. The more talented a demonic beast is, the more difficult it is to advance. However, once it advances, it will have a limitless future. Furthermore, advancing can also awaken the innate bloodline in its body, Sikong Chuyu said to Night Sorrow. There was still a long way to go. Night Sorrow's group traveled during the day and rested at night. The journey was very comfortable and relaxing. In the past, Night Sorrow was worried about the dangers when he traveled through the vast wilderness. After all, he couldn't even defeat the 3rd and 4th ranked demonic beasts. But now, could be said that he was swaggering forward. There were high-level demonic beasts and there were also venerables. However, they were all in the deep mountains and swamps. They wouldn't appear in the areas ruled by the Southern Dipper sect, the Golden Flame sect, or the Medicine Valley. After all, the venerables of the Southern Dipper sect and the Golden Flame sect wouldn't allow such a threat to exist. After traveling for 6 days, Night Sorrow suddenly woke up from his meditation when he rested at night. This was because there was a strong energy fluctuation on Tianyu's body. This made Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, who were resting in another tent, come out. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation, it's a breakthrough. Sikong Chuyu released the fire phoenix to be on guard. Yang Lei looked at Tianyu, whose feathers were vibrating like water ripples due to the energy fluctuation, and said, "It's a big commotion." "Yes, when my fire phoenix broke through, it didn't cause such a big commotion. It's a lot weaker," Sikong Chuyu said. Night Sorrow was very nervous about Tianyu's breakthrough. In his heart, Tianyu wasn't just a mount, but also a companion. He didn't want anything to happen to Tianyu. In the second half of the night, Tianyu's aura became even more violent. Then with a long cry, Tianyu's aura changed. Rank 4 Demonic Beast. Tianyu had entered the Rank 4. After entering the Rank 4, Tianyu's aura continued to rise. His cultivation also continued to increase. Rank 4, Rank 4, Rank 4, Rank 4, Rank 4, Rank 4, Rank 3. It only stabilized when he reached the peak of Rank 4. Ninth Senior Sister Chuyu, what's going on with him? Night Sorrow asked worriedly. He's been at the peak of Rank 3 for a long time. He's been holding back and waiting for today. His bloodline has been stimulated and his battle strength will increase greatly. We can't judge it by cultivation, Sikong Chuyu said. The energy on Tianyu's body was still flowing, and it was channeled into his beak and claws. After a while, Tianyu's beak and claws shone with a golden luster. When the energy on his body dissipated, Tianyu's aura stabilized. Then he flapped his wings and soared into the air. He circled twice in the air before landing beside Night Sorrow. He used his head to bump against Night Sorrow's shoulder. Night Sorrow patted Tianyu's neck. "You just broke through. Go stabilize your cultivation." When Tianyu successfully broke through, Night Sorrow was very happy. It was as if he had broken through. Ninth Senior Sister, this Tianyu hasn't reached adulthood yet. Sikong Chuyu said as he looked at Tianyu, who was lying down to stabilize his cultivation. Rank 4 is still not an adult. This means that he's at least a Rank 5 adult. At the very least, he's at the peak of Rank 5. This is too ridiculous. Yang Lei's eyes were filled with shock. Chapter 355. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? This is a wonderful novel for you to read. Whether or not a demonic beast has reached adulthood depends on the state of the energy circulation in its body. The energy in a young demonic beast's body spreads in all directions, allowing its body to continue growing. If it reaches adulthood, then the energy in its body will circulate in a restrained manner. It's a completely different method, Yang Lei explained to Yishang. I see. I understand now. After hearing Yang Lei's explanation, Night Sorrow observed carefully and realized that the energy in Tianyu's body was indeed as Yang Lei had said. It was extending towards its wings and claws. This Tianyu is really fierce. Look at its beak and claws. They are both greenish-gold in color. One look and you can tell that they are lethal weapons, Sikong Chuyu said. Haha, it'll level up again very soon. Yishan laughed heartily. He was simply too happy. The three drank and chatted until dawn. Only then did they ride Tianyu and Fire Phoenix and fly. Tianyu's speed soared. Fire Phoenix chased after him with all its might. In less than a month, the three returned to the Medicine Valley. They didn't go to Danding City. Instead, they flew towards South Sky City. Night Sorrow wanted to go back and visit Gu Ye's father. First, the three went to Guan Ye's house to visit his parents. They also left some gold notes. At the same time, they learned that the officials of South Sky City often came to visit. This made them feel relieved. After leaving Guan Ye's house, the three of them went to Bamboo Garden Town. After flying a circle above Bamboo Garden Town, Night Sorrow and the other two controlled the flying demonic beast to land in front of Gu Ye's father's bamboo house. Gu Ye's father. Night Sorrow waved his hand at Gu Ye, who was standing in front of the door. Why are you back again? A man should be more manly. Don't act like a child and run home for no reason. Gu Ye's father looked at Night Sorrow. Although he was reprimanding him, his eyes were filled with joy. I have a flying demonic beast, so it's not hard for me to come back. Bamboo Garden Town is doing well, said Night Sorrow as he helped Old Man Gu sit down in the courtyard. This time, the scale of the reconstruction has been expanded a little. South Sky City has really put in a lot of effort. The road from Bamboo Garden Town to South Sky City has been opened, and the demonic beasts on both sides of the road have been chased away, Old Man Gu said with a smile. As long as things are going well here, I'm relieved, Night Sorrow said. Your world is outside, so you don't have to worry about family matters. You two girls take a seat. Let Night Sorrow do the work later. Papa Gu waved his hand at Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, who were brewing tea. It's nothing. You two can chat. Yang Lei smiled at Father Gu. How have you been these days? Work hard in your cultivation and become a great expert as soon as possible. Daddy Gu patted Night Sorrow's shoulder with one hand and said, Papa Gu, Night Sorrow is now a great expert. He has killed countless opponents. Sikong Chuyu gave Night Sorrow a thumbs up. Night Sorrow, what's your cultivation level? Papa Gu sized up Night Sorrow. Yes, Spirit Severing Stage 6, Night Sorrow said. Spirit Severing Stage 6. You said Spirit Severing Stage 6? Papa Gu stood up with a shocked expression. Yes, Spirit Severing Stage 6. Night Sorrow nodded. On this point, Night Sorrow was very proud. In the past 2 years he had really worked hard in his cultivation. This was his achievement. Good. Very good. Our family also has a great expert at the Spirit Severing stage. Let's go and burn incense for your ancestors. Papa Gu was very excited. He pulled Night Sorrow to the bamboo house to get some incense and candles. Then they went to the 2 graves behind the bamboo house. The graves had already been renovated. The tombstones had been changed and green bamboos had been planted on both sides. Night Sorrow lit the incense and candles and bowed. Papa, has this place been renovated? Night Sorrow asked. In the past there were many weeds around the graves. Now it was very clean. In addition, Night Sorrow also saw that the offerings placed in front of the tombstones were fresh. It's the people of the town who came to pay their respects. The prosperity of Bamboo Garden Town was brought by you. When you weren't around, everyone felt that it was their responsibility to pay their respects to the 2 seniors on your behalf, Papa Gu said. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood that this was the simplicity and gratitude of the people in the mountains. When Night Sorrow and Papa Gu returned to the courtyard, Uncle Nyo and the elders of Bamboo Garden Town had arrived. Uncle Nyo was holding 2 jars of wine in one hand, while the other villagers were holding game. I reckon that the 2 of you are almost done talking. I'm here to drink with you, Uncle Nyo said. Hee, let's do it together. Night Sorrow hasn't eaten the food at home for a long time. Auntie Lin called out to the villagers and started to get busy. #authentic first release. It feels so safe to be back home, Night Sorrow said to Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei, who were chased back by Auntie Lin with a smile. Of course, this is the feeling of home. Yang Lei said. You guys wait here. I'll go get 2 fresh game back. Night Sorrow took the iron spear and bow hanging under the eaves of the bamboo house and left the courtyard. Night Sorrow had the sky-piercing spear and the reincarnation spear, but they weren't hunting equipment. They belonged to cultivators. The iron spear and bow were the equipment for hunters. Carrying the bow and the iron spear, Night Sorrow shuttled through the mountains in front of Bamboo Garden Town and found a familiar feeling. The large demonic beasts had been chased and killed by the guards sent by Southern Sky City. However, there were still small game. Night Sorrow hunted an antelope, a gazelle and 2 pheasants before returning to Bamboo Garden Town. Ah! As expected of our Bamboo Garden Town's best hunter. Your actions are so nimble. You only went out for half an hour and already had so many game. Uncle Nyo took the game from Night Sorrow and said. At night, everyone ate the fresh game. After eating, Uncle Nyo and the others left. After they left, Yishang took out the origin spirit liquid and gave Papa Gu a drop. Then he let Papa Gu rest. Although Father Gu couldn't cultivate and didn't have true qi, the spiritual origin liquid could improve his constitution. After Father Gu went to rest, Night Sorrow brought Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei around Bamboo Garden Town and told the 2 girls about the past. This place will slowly change. The construction of the Medicine Valley cities depends on the location, but it also depends on the cultural situation. Danding City is the first city now because the founder of the Medicine Valley was from Danding City. At that time, Danding City might have been a small village. When you become stronger and your status in the Medicine Valley rises, the status of Bamboo Garden Town will also rise. Yang Lei said with a smile. I understand. I will continue to work hard. Night Sorrow nodded. Bamboo Garden Town was close to the wasteland, so it was cooler at night. After taking a stroll, Night Sorrow and the other 2 returned to the bamboo house. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu rested in one room while Night Sorrow and Father Gu rested in the other. When they woke up in the morning, Night Sorrow cultivated his spear art in the courtyard. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu also got up to wash up. After Father Gu woke up, he watched Night Sorrow cultivate his spear art. After stopping his cultivation and looking at Father Gu, Night Sorrow realized that Father Gu's essence, qi and spirit had indeed changed. This proved that the spiritual origin liquid was still very effective. Dad, you didn't sleep a little longer. Night Sorrow said as he put away his spear. I knew you wouldn't stay for long, so I wanted to stay with you a little longer. Father Gu said. Dad, why don't you come with us? Night Sorrow asked. Chapter 356. Genius 1 second. Remember love go divided by Shao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Godson? Night Sorrow looked at Father Gu in surprise. Baidu search AI go female sign Shao say www.ichuxs.com. I took him in a while ago. He was doing business with his parents and was attacked by monsters. His parents died. Seeing that he had no one to rely on, I took him in. There. That bamboo building belongs to him. Old man Gu pointed at a building not far away and said. Then I'm relieved. I can't stay here for long. I'll be leaving later, Night Sorrow said. Go. My place is very good. Father Gu smiled. This is spiritual liquid. Take a drop every month. Also, you can't let anyone know about this. Night Sorrow took out a small bottle of Origin spiritual liquid and said. You can keep it. You need these treasures for your cultivation. Father Gu shook his head and said. Father, just keep it. I still have more. Remember, you can't let anyone know about this. Yishang once again emphasized Father Gu. Night Sorrow stayed with Father Gu for 3 days. He found that Father Gu's body had improved greatly. Night Sorrow was relieved and planned to leave. Let's go. Don't worry about this place. Zhiyuan Town is no longer the Zhiyuan Town of the past. Father Gu smiled and said to Night Sorrow. Knowing that Night Sorrow was leaving, Uncle Nyo once again pulled Night Sorrow to his pub to get some wine. Auntie Lin also gave Night Sorrow a robe. You can buy the robe, but the underwear is still made at home. It's more comfortable to wear. Thank you, Auntie Lin. Night Sorrow nodded. Remember to come back when you have time. Also, don't worry about this place. Chin Chin is a good child and very filial. He can take care of Father Gu. Auntie Lin said. Chin Chin was Father Gu's godson. I'll be going then. Take care everyone. Night Sorrow released Tianyu and pulled Yang Lei onto Tianyu's back. After Sikong Chuyu rode Fire Phoenix into the sky, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu and began flying. At the same time he waved at Daddy Gu who was watching him leave. Now you can rest assured. There's someone taking care of Father Gu, Yang Lei said with a smile. It'll be better if someone takes care of him. Night Sorrow nodded. Although he did not see Mr. Gu's godson who could be considered his brother, Chin Chin, Night Sorrow felt more at ease. Tianyu and Fire Phoenix were very fast. After resting for a night, it took them 2 days to reach Danding City and return to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. The 3 of you are back. How was your run? Seeing the 3 of them, Lin Yichin greeted them with Aoi. Very cool. 6th senior sister, you don't know that we were honored guests at the Thunder Rumbling sect. Then we took the transmission array to Dongshin City, Yang Lei said with a smile. Not bad. You're also very confident. Qing Ji said as she poured tea for them. 13 bought a very nice house in Dongshin City. It's very nice. In the future, us brothers and sisters will have a place to stay in Dongshin City, Yang Lei said after taking a sip of water. Isn't every inch of land in Dongshin City expensive? Our Medicine Valley only has 1 foothold and 13 bought a house? Aoi was also familiar with Dongshin City and had been there once. Baidu search AI go Xiao Shua www.ichuxs.com. Who is 13? He's now a law enforcer for the Black Iron Guards of Dongshin City. He's someone with an official status. The house was arranged by the City Lord Mansion's people. It's located in a big area, Yang Lei said. Our 13 can make a name for himself wherever he goes, Aoi said with a smile. 6th senior sister, has there been any news recently? Night Sorrow sat down and asked. No, the Golden Flame sect has been very obedient. The Scarlet Flame sect hasn't done anything either. However, it seems that the people from the Thunder Rumbling sect have come to visit. I don't know the details but I've heard about it, Aoi said. Thunder Rumbling sect? I wonder if Lei Bao and Lei Zheng are here. Night Sorrow was stunned when he heard the news. Let's rest for a day. We'll go back tomorrow, Yang Lei said. Aoi was stunned when she saw Night Sorrow's cultivation. 13 What kind of elixir did you eat? Your cultivation has reached level 6 of the spirit severing stage. How are we going to survive? I didn't eat anything. I just worked hard on my cultivation, Night Sorrow said with a smile. You're working hard. Aren't we working hard too? Aoi glanced at Night Sorrow. 6th senior sister, don't be angry. I brought you a gift. This is a spirit tranquility pill. It's enough for you to cultivate to the peak of rank 4. Night Sorrow took out 2 bottles of spirit tranquility pills and gave them to Aoi. One of the bottles was a spirit congealing pill, which was a resource given to Night Sorrow by Tianji Tower. That's more like it. Let's go back to Taishan Peak together tomorrow. I'll take you to the wine cellar. I guess you don't have any wine left, Aoi said with a smile. Night Sorrow and the other 2 laughed. Night Sorrow really didn't have much wine left. That night, Night Sorrow didn't stop. He spent the first half of the night with Sikong Chuyu and the second half of the night with Yang Lei. They were indeed together for a long time. After a night's rest, Night Sorrow and the others rushed to the Medicine Valley. More than an hour later, the 4 of them arrived at Danding Peak. They first went to Danding Peak to visit Yu Yangyu, but they didn't see him. They saw the Great Elder in the Danding Hall. 6th level of Spirit Severing. You won't stop until you shock people to death, but well done. The people of the Thunder Rumbling sect came to visit and exchanged words with us. They are willing to become allies. They came for you. In addition, there are also 2 outstanding disciples of the Thunder Rumbling sect who asked if you came back. The Great Elder looked at Night Sorrow and said, "Those are my friends. When did they come?" Night Sorrow asked. "A few days ago. They are still in the VIP pavilion." The Great Elder pointed in the direction of the VIP pavilion with his cane. "Then I'll go take a look later." "Where is my master?" Night Sorrow asked. "You won't be able to see the Valley Master for a while. He is in seclusion. It is a long seclusion. This seclusion is especially important for your master in the Medicine Valley." The Great Elder looked in the direction of Danding Cliff and said. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei looked at each other. They understood that Yu Yangyu was trying to break through to the Venerable Realm. Then Night Sorrow and the others returned to Taishan Peak. There, they saw Gong Xian but no one else. 13. Your cultivation is too ridiculous. You are hurting your senior brothers. Gong Xian said with a smile. CX_ on section Y of chapter QF, eldest senior brother, I can only refine level 4 pills now. I can't help you with the resources, but I have something to tell you. Night Sorrow said. He wanted to talk to Gong Xian about the cultivation of soul power. Why are you being so polite with your eldest senior brother? If you have something to say, just say it. I will help you. Gong Xian looked at Night Sorrow and said. He thought that Night Sorrow had encountered something difficult. Night Sorrow told him that carving and alchemy could strengthen soul power. Then I will try. Gong Xian nodded seriously. There is no need to try. We have already tried. The effect is obvious. This is a shortcut that paves the way to the Venerable Realm. Yang Lei said. Chapter 357. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. 13. Ninth junior sister, how do you plan to deal with this matter? I think we should inform Master. Gong Xian expressed his thoughts. We'll do whatever eldest senior brother thinks is appropriate, Night Sorrow said. There are many alchemists in Medicine Valley. Many of them cultivate true qi and use their true qi cultivation as the foundation for alchemy. Almost none of the rank 5 cultivators practice alchemy, so they don't know about this. What a pity. Always sighed. Even the rank 5 cultivators who occasionally practice alchemy don't think in this direction. Gong Xian nodded. Alright then, we'll return to Bamboo Forest Peak first. Call me if you need anything, Night Sorrow said. I've renovated Bamboo Forest Peak for you. Go back and take a look. If you're not satisfied, just tell me. Gong Xian nodded to Night Sorrow. I don't live there, so it doesn't need to be too good. Also, here are some rank 4 pills. Eldest senior brother, take them and distribute them to my other seniors. Night Sorrow took out the spirit calming pill and black tranquility pill that he had refined. So many, what kind of medicinal pills are these? Qing Ji took the bottle of medicinal pills and opened it. After examining it, Aoi looked at Gong Xian. They're all top-grade spirit calming pill and black tranquility pill. 13. Where did you get so many resources? Gong Xian asked. I obtained some materials in the alternate dimension. After entering rank 4, I practiced alchemy and turned them into pills, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Your seniors are lucky. You just came back. Go rest first. Gong Xian said with some emotion. After leaving the Supreme Mystery Hall, Aoi pulled Night Sorrow to the Bamboo Forest Pavilion and gave him some wine. Only then did she let Night Sorrow return to Bamboo Forest Peak. The Bamboo Forest Peak had changed its appearance. There were several new bamboo buildings and the surroundings had been cleaned up. That's right. We'll each have a seat and there'll still be some left. Guests will also have a place to rest, Night Sorrow said with a smile. After cultivating for a whole night, Night Sorrow got up early. After greeting the two girls, Night Sorrow drove the Tianyu to the VIP building of the Medicine Valley. In the training field in front of the VIP building, Night Sorrow saw Lei Bao and Lei Jing training together. "Ah, you finally came back. If you didn't come back we would have left." Seeing Night Sorrow, Lei Bao came over and gave Night Sorrow a bear hug. After hugging Lei Bao, Night Sorrow also hugged Lei Jing. Junior greets Elder. Night Sorrow bowed to Elder Lei Juyun of the Thunder Rumbling School. "Love go little Seiko, there's no need to be polite. Lei Bao, Lei Jing, you guys have to work hard," Lei Juyun said with a smile. He was shocked because Night Sorrow was only at level 4 when he first arrived at the Thunder Rumbling School. "What kind of medicine did you eat?" Lei Bao punched Night Sorrow and said. "I just drank a little too much. Come, I brought wine." Night Sorrow took out a jar of green leopard bone wine and placed it on the table in front of the VIP building. "Then what are you waiting for? Let's drink." Lei Bao took out the wine bowl. After the wine jar was opened, Lei Juyun and the other two Thunder Rumbling School elders also joined in. "Night Sorrow, Danding Cliff of the Medicine Valley is a sacred place. Take us there in the afternoon to have a look," Lei Bao said. "I can take you there, but if you want to climb the cliff I need to apply to the school," Night Sorrow said. He couldn't make the decision to let the Thunder Rumbling School's disciples climb Danding Cliff. "You don't need to apply. You can just take them there in the afternoon." 13 You too. How can you drink with the guests like this? Great Elder and Qian Wu came over. "Ah, Great Elder is too polite. I'm familiar with him, so drinking like this is a different feeling," Lei Juyun said with a smile. "That's right. That's true. Feels good to drink like this." 13 Add another bowl, Qian Wu said. Great Elder and Qian Wu sat down to drink. Night Sorrow, Lei Bao and Lei Jing felt uncomfortable. "I don't know why you guys are so uncomfortable. Go. 13 Take them to Danding Cliff to have fun," Great Elder said to Night Sorrow and the other two. Night Sorrow led Lei Bao and Lei Jing to Danding Cliff. "You broke the Thunder Rumbling Tower's record. Then we will also try to break your Danding Cliff's record," Lei Bao said. "It's hard to say. Danding Cliff only has records for the entire rank. That is to say, the record for the Yuan Gathering rank is 4,500 meters, the record for the Core Condensation rank is 5,400 meters, and the record for the Severed Spirit rank is 6,300 meters, Night Sorrow explained to the two. "Let's try suppressing our cultivation," Lei Bao said. "We have to try." Lei Jing nodded. When they arrived at Danding Cliff, Night Sorrow told Elder Su about Lei Bao and Lei Jing's situation. "No problem. You guys can start." Elder Su took a deep breath and said after checking Night Sorrow's cultivation. Then Night Sorrow and the other two used their peak Yuan Gathering rank and started to climb the cliff. The three of them were very fast. Soon they reached 4,000 meters. "The pressure is really great. Brother Bao, we have to continue. The record of 4,500 meters is not far from us," Lei Jing said while rubbing his hands. "Record of 4,500 meters? What record?" A disciple who was cultivating on the platform asked. "We have to break the record for the Yuan Gathering rank," Lei Bao said while patting his chest. "The record of 4,500 meters for the Yuan Gathering rank is old history. Martial Uncle Knight broke this record a year ago. The current record for the Yuan Gathering rank is 5,100 meters. Night Sorrow didn't know this disciple because the Medicine Valley was also recruiting new disciples. Why is it 5,100 meters? Lei Bao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. 4,500 meters was set a year ago, Night Sorrow said with a smile. You are really a scammer. Curiosity killed the cat. Since you want to try, then continue to work hard. Lei Bao shook his head and continued climbing. Night Sorrow and Lei Jing didn't stay idle. They also followed behind. It had to be said that Lei Bao and Lei Jing were very strong. The two of them used their peak Yuan Gathering rank to climb to 4,300 meters before they couldn't take it anymore. Night Sorrow, I am puzzled. How did you climb to 5,100 meters? Isn't this nonsense? I don't believe it, Lei Jing said while releasing his third rank cultivation. What are we betting on? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. I have a jar of 100-year-old wine here. Now that you have reached 5,100 meters with your Yuan Gathering rank, let's open it and drink, Lei Jing said. I thought you were giving it to me. You want to drink some back? How shameless. Then I will climb for you two to see. Night Sorrow didn't act shamelessly. After controlling the cultivation of the myriad Dao Tome to the muscle-strengthening rank, he started climbing. I/only Yijing. Edition Bichito Hido is I equals Rob. Edition Night Sorrow's body was too strong. He didn't need Jin Qi or the energy of the myriad Dao Tome to reach the third rank. It wasn't difficult for him to climb 5,500 meters below Danding Cliff. Under Lei Bao and Lei Zhang's astonished gaze, Night Sorrow climbed up without any difficulty. At 5,500 meters, Night Sorrow stopped. Lei Zhang, take out the wine. Do you really want to climb 5,100 meters before coming back to drink? Brother Bao, I will definitely not bet with him. This is the second time I have lost. Lei Zhang took out a jar of wine gloomily. Chapter 358. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. You too. You're ruthless. Lei Zhang had no choice but to take out an antique jar and open it. Love go little say W. Chew. The three of them took 3 bowls and drank 1 bowl each. Lei Bao stared at Lei Zhang and didn't let him drink more. Eternity. Free GFV 2 read novels. QQ Night Sorrow, you're too shameless. Your body strength and strength are not even comparable to a rank 3 practitioner, Lei Zhang said gloomily. The highest record set by our ancestors in the Medicine Valley at Danding Cliff was 4,500 meters. If there was nothing special, how could I come up? Night Sorrow said with a smile. Lei Zhang. Brother Bao said a few words to you. It's enough to suffer once. Last time you almost lost your bird. Don't you remember? I asked you to take out this 100-year-old wine but you refused. Now you can drink it without a favor. Not bad. Lei Bao said while drinking. You two are really shameless. Holding the bowl, Lei Zhang looked at Night Sorrow and Lei Bao with disdain. Lei Zhang drank the wine as if he was going to bite his enemy to death. After drinking, the three of them continued to climb. Night Sorrow didn't plan to cultivate today. He just accompanied Lei Bao and Lei Zhang to experience Danding Cliff. Love Gong Little Say W. Chu. Soon the three of them reached the 6,000-meter platform. On the 6,000-meter platform, Night Sorrow took out a jar of strong wine that Uncle Nyo gave him and opened it. This place is completely different from the Thunder Tower. The cultivation on Danding Cliff is very solid and the speed of improvement is very fast. It's a kind of basic training. The Thunder Tower focuses on actual combat, Lei Bao said. Night Sorrow, I can't climb anymore. Where did you climb before? Lei Zhang couldn't take it anymore at 5,800 meters. It was Night Sorrow who brought him up. Lei Bao's altitude was slightly better than Lei Zhang's. Night Sorrow said, I've been here and then I kept running around and didn't have time to climb. The previous record for the peak of the core condensation realm was 5,400 meters. You two should be content with reaching 5,800 meters. The record for the peak of core condensation is 5,400 meters. Then the 5th level of spirit severing should be 5,900 meters. We only reached 5,800 meters. Lei Bao thought for a while and said, That's a record that has been created in Medicine Valley for countless years. You're only 100 meters away. Aren't you satisfied? Said Night Sorrow. That's true. This is a good place. With the help of Danding Cliff, the disciples of Medicine Valley should be able to improve their cultivation very quickly, Lei Bao said. Not at all. The restrictions here are very strict. You need to contribute to the sect. You have to work hard to complete missions. It's good enough if you can cultivate here for 1 or 2 days a month. Night Sorrow took a sip of wine and said, Then do you often do missions? Lei Zhang asked. No. There is a rule in Medicine Valley. The disciples who break the record can cultivate however they want on Danding Cliff. Night Sorrow said with a smile. I have nothing to say. You're awesome. Lei Bao gave Night Sorrow a thumbs up. The three of them didn't continue climbing. Lei Bao and Lei Zhang couldn't reach 5,800 meters. It was meaningless to continue climbing. Night Sorrow didn't want to show off. He could climb the cliff at any time. At 5,900 meters, Lei Bao and Lei Zhang cultivated for a while. After sensing the aura of Danding Cliff, the three of them went down. Night Sorrow accompanied the two of them to play around in the Medicine Valley. Under Lei Bao's strong request, Night Sorrow brought them to Crepe Myrtle. When they arrived at Crepe Myrtle, Night Sorrow felt a little numb. He was still a little scared of Crepe Myrtle. Junior brother Night, you're here. Why don't you go in? Are these two guests from Thunder Rumbling Sect? Tang Chanchan came from the front of Crepe Myrtle Square and asked. Senior Sister Tang, These two are the guests of Thunder Rumbling sect. They're also my good friends. They heard that crepe myrtle has many beauties, so they had some ideas. I couldn't not bring them here. Night Sorrow took a step back unkindly and let Lei Bao and Lei Jing stand in front. This was a shameful thing. Night Sorrow wanted them to lead the charge. Night Sorrow, you're too disloyal. Lei Jing grabbed one of Night Sorrow's arms. Lei Bao did the same. Both of them grabbed one arm each and pulled Night Sorrow back. A gentleman would like a fair lady. This is nothing. Let's go in and sit. Tang Qianshan said and led the three of them to Crepe Myrtle's side hall. These two little brothers are not bad. What? Are you interested in Crepe Myrtle's disciples? That's not a problem. I'll bring you around later. Tang Qianshan said with a smile. After staying for a while, Night Sorrow left. However, Lei Bao and Lei Jing did not leave. Tang Qianshan and a few other Crepe Myrtle's disciples asked them to stay. They wanted to bring them to other places to have a look. Night Sorrow went to the VIP building. After telling Lei Juyun about Lei Bao and Lei Zheng's situation, he returned to Bamboo Forest Peak. You're back. Seeing Night Sorrow return, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, who were practicing carving in front of the bamboo building, put down the carving knives in their hands. They were now sitting opposite each other and carving each other. I played with these two guys for a while and then threw them into Crepe Myrtle. Night Sorrow sat down and said with a smile. You're too mean. The senior and junior sisters of Crepe Myrtle are not losers. These two are going to be unlucky. However, this is also a good opportunity for them to develop. Yang Lei said. What do you two think of the effect? Night Sorrow looked at the jade carvings on the table and asked. It's effective. If anyone tells me that cultivators do these things for fun, I'll strangle them to death. Yang Lei said. That's good. With a strong soul force, it will be easy to enter the one with the world realm. As for the increase in cultivation, we have pills and resources. By the way, do you think it's better to cultivate with spirit stones or pills? Night Sorrow asked. Spirit stones. However, it's a bit extravagant to cultivate with spirit stones. Spirit stones will be very useful in the future. Sikong Chiyu said. We have clear void pills now. It's no problem to use them to assist in cultivation. Yang Lei also said. You too can use spirit stones to cultivate. Increase your cultivation as soon as possible. By the way, ninth senior sister, I have a question. Will the alternate space open next year? Night Sorrow asked. I don't know. It depends on the stability of the energy in the spatial passage. I haven't asked about this before. Is there a problem? Yang Lei asked. I found a lot of spirit stones in the cave where the water origin stone and the fire origin stone are. There's no reason for the nihility origin bead and the baleful origin bead to not have spirit stones. I didn't consider this before, so I overlooked it. Night Sorrow said. Even if there's no problem with the dimensional passageway, you won't be able to enter. You should know that your cultivation base has already exceeded the third step. The dimensional passageway will reject you due to your powerful energy, Sikong Chuyu said. That's a problem. Let's see what happens next year. Night Sorrow shook his head, a little disappointed. Chapter 359. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Sikong Chiyu was talking about the nihility origin bead, which was the core origin of the void fiendish space. If Night Sorrow could get it to recognize him as its master, he would be able to control the void fiendish space. Night Sorrow and the other two had communicated and determined that the nihility origin bead was the true origin bead of the void fiendish space. The baleful chi origin bead was only a subsidiary, not the true core origin. Night Sorrow nodded, but he also knew that it would be extremely difficult to get the nihility origin bead to recognize him as its master. How could the core of a small world be so easy to get it to recognize him as its master? It also had its own spirituality. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow went to cultivate. He didn't need to deliberately study carving like the two girls. When he cultivated his true chi in the myriad Daosh treasured tome, his soul power was increasing. While cultivating, Night Sorrow drank the origin spiritual liquid and held the ice spirit blood essence in his hands. The ice spirit blood essence was much more effective than elixirs. There was no need for Night Sorrow to absorb it. It ran into Night Sorrow's body on its own. Night Sorrow understood that this was the characteristic of the ice spirit blood essence. Otherwise he wouldn't have been able to trigger the ice spirit well. He cultivated for an entire night. When he woke up in the morning, Night Sorrow began to cultivate his spear art. While Night Sorrow was cultivating, Yu brought Lei Bao and Lei Zheng to the bamboo forest peak. Love go, small say network and night sorrow, you are too unkind. How could you just leave us like that yesterday? Lei Zheng said after sitting down. That was giving you a chance. You couldn't let go of me if I was there, Night Sorrow said while making tea. Alright. You always have a reason. Crepe Myrtle has a few good girls, but their requirements are a bit high, Lei Zheng said. What is it? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. Senior Sister Tang said that we can try to communicate, but the girl I like said that if there is a future, even if I don't visit her, I will live on both sides. If I stay in Thunder Rumbling Sect for a year, I will come to Medicine Valley for a year. Lei Bao curled his lips and said, everything else is a pirated version of WTF. So what? If you like her, you have to fight for her, Night Sorrow said. It's easy for you to say that. If we agree, won't the elders punish us? Lei Bao said. That's nothing. It's just staying on both sides for a while, Yang Lei said with a smile. Walking back and forth is too time-consuming. Lei Jing rubbed his head. He didn't want to think about the past. That's nothing. We can take the teleportation array from the Thunder Rumbling Sect to the Southern Dipper Sect. Isn't that close? Night Sorrow said. That's true. If Medicine Valley is stronger, you can destroy the Golden Flame Sect and take their teleportation array, Lei Bao said. Conflicts are inevitable, but I believe that it won't be a problem to build a teleportation array in Danding City in the future, Night Sorrow said. Just because you said so, we will fight, Lei Jing said with a wave of his arm. Then they chatted and talked about Night Sorrow's trip to Dongshan City. Night Sorrow casually told them about his situation in Dongshan City. You are doing well. That way when we go to Dongshan City in the future, we don't have to stay in the sect store. We can go directly to your house, Lei Bao said. No problem. When you go there, just say my name. It's called Qingxin Courtyard. It's in the back street behind Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow said. That's not bad. Next time we go to Dongshan City, there are places to eat and drink, Lei Jing said after taking a sip of tea. This was the difference in background. As one of the 7 superpowers in Dongshan Domain, Thunder Rumbling Sect's disciples could go to Dongshan City easily with the teleportation array. However, Medicine Valley's disciples couldn't. If they wanted to go to Dongshan City, they would have to travel mountains and rivers, wasting months. After a while, Lei Bao, Lei Zheng and Yu left. When they left, Lei Bao and Yu said that they would continue to Crepe Myrtle. These two guys, it seems like they were really subdued by the Crepe Myrtle girls. This is a good thing, Yang Lei said. Because Lei Bao and Lei Zheng were both in Medicine Valley, Night Sorrow didn't go back to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. There was no point in going back. Yang Lei and Sikong Chu were both here. For the next few days, Night Sorrow cultivated his true chi and myriad Daoist tome at night and his spear art during the day. When he was free, he went to drink with Lei Bao and Lei Zheng. Lei Bao and Lei Zheng spent most of the day in Crepe Myrtle. After half a month, Lei Jiyun and the rest decided to leave. Hua Yunpeng, who was in seclusion a few days ago, came out and met Lei Jiyun and the rest. Thunder Rumbling Sect's goal of visiting Medicine Valley's supremacy was achieved. Lei Bao and Lei Zheng came to bid farewell to Night Sorrow. They were going to follow Lei Jiyun back to Thunder Rumbling Sect. Night Sorrow also knew that the two of them had hooked up with 2 girls in Crepe Myrtle. They were both Tang Chanchan's disciples. Night Sorrow and the Grand Elder sent Lei Jiyun and the rest out of Medicine Valley's mountain gate before returning to Bamboo Forest Peak. After Lei Bao and Lei Zheng left Medicine Valley, Night Sorrow planned to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate. To Night Sorrow, the Spirit Severing Stage 6 to Spirit Severing Stage 7 was a very important stage. After entering Spirit Severing Stage 7 and eating the Tranquility Pill, he was not far from entering Spirit Severing Stage 8. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu supported Night Sorrow's decision. Although they felt sorry for Night Sorrow's hard work, they were more concerned about Night Sorrow's safety. In this chaotic world, increasing one's strength was the only way to increase one's chances of survival. The two of you don't need to save resources. Use the spiritual stones as you wish. We have plenty of them. After giving Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei 100 high-grade spiritual stones each, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu and left. Shursan's resources are much more abundant than ordinary sections. However, in the eyes of others, he is just a grass. This kind of misconception is really fatal. Yang Lei said with mixed emotions. With Night Sorrow's resources and strength, he can defeat any young master in the 9 regions and 18 prefectures. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. I don't know how long he will cultivate this time. I reckon he won't come back until he breaks through. Yang Lei glanced at the direction of Danding Cliff and said, "The two of us also need to work hard. The gap between us and Night Sorrow is not much. It's very easy for him to catch up with us. I don't want to be a flower vase." Sikong Chiyu touched her hair that was messed up by the wind and said, "Yes, we have to fight side by side. Fortunately, Shirsan gave us a lot of resources. Our cultivation bases improved faster. I'm not far from the third level of the Void Inquiry stage. Once I reach that level, I can eat the Extreme Void Pill. What about you?" Yang Lei asked. "I still need some time. After all, I didn't break through as early as 9th senior sister," Sikong Chiyu said. While Sikong Chiyu and Yang Lei were chatting, Night Sorrow began to charge towards Danding Cliff. Night Sorrow, who wanted to improve his cultivation base quickly, planned to charge higher. The higher the position, the more abundant the energy, and the greater the pressure, the stronger the tempering force. When he was at the peak core condensation realm, Night Sorrow could already reach 6,000 meters. Now that he had entered the 6th level of the Divine Severing realm, Night Sorrow directly reached 6,500 meters. Feeling a little pressured, Night Sorrow began to meditate to recover. Chapter 360. Genius Remembering Love in 1 Second Go? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The climbing record of Danding Cliff in the Medicine Valley was a big deal. Could be said that it recorded the history of the Medicine Valley. Every time the record was refreshed, it had great significance. The record of the core formation stage at Danding Cliff was 5,400 meters, but the sage of the Medicine Valley who set this record had a record of 6,300 meters in the Spirit Severing stage, which was shortened by another 100 meters. This showed that he had not broken through his own limits and was still limited by the suppression of Danding Cliff. However, Night Sorrow was not in this situation. Every time the height of the record was refreshed, it did not shorten. Instead, it was extending. In other words, in the process of cultivation, Night Sorrow was still in a state of eruption. First Elder and Lu Qinyun both came. He climbed to 6,500 meters in the 6th stage of the Spirit Severing stage. According to normal calculations, it is normal for the height of each stage to be shortened by 100 meters. However, his record of each stage is a whole number and has not been shortened. That is to say, he has been breaking through his own limits, Lu Qinyun said. Yes, that's why I invited the two elders over. In addition, I found that every time Night Sorrow broke a record, it was a whole number on the platform. That is to say, he still has the ability to continue, but he did not fight for it, Elder Su said. He's moving. Lu Qinyun pointed to Night Sorrow, who stood up and continued to climb. First Elder did not speak. He just watched. No one knew what he was thinking. This time the difficulty was greater. When Night Sorrow reached 6,580 meters, his genuine chi and the energy in his body were exhausted. After supporting himself for a few meters with the strength of his body, the spiritual chi of the black jade in Night Sorrow's hands erupted. Then he climbed quickly and rushed directly to the 6,600-meter platform. Then he began to meditate and cultivate. He felt that the pressure here was just right for this place. First Elder looked up at Danding Cliff and thought. Lu Qinyun, Elder Su, and the others did not say a word. Perhaps the real opportunity for the rise of the Medicine Valley has come. After thinking for a long time, First Elder said. First Elder, what do you mean? Elder Su asked. It's because of the 8-Dragon Cauldron. For so many years, the 8-Dragon Cauldron hasn't acknowledged anyone in the Medicine Valley. Even if several Supreme Elders joined forces to control it and Supreme Elder Hua entered the Venerable Realm to activate it, they were actually using the energy given by the 8-Dragon Cauldron. If you want to control the 8-Dragon Cauldron, the most important thing is to gain its recognition. Climbing the Danding Cliff is the only way to gain its recognition, the First Elder exhaled and said. Most equals percent new and chapter. Section Unspecified Currency, Hearing the Great Elder's words, everyone became quiet because this news was too shocking. Everyone thinks that the 8-Dragon Cauldron is a spiritual weapon, but I can tell you the truth. After countless years of absorbing spiritual energy from heaven and earth, the 8-Dragon Cauldron has evolved. I hope that Night Sorrow can continue to work hard. The Grand Elder looked at Night Sorrow's figure and turned to leave Danding Cliff. Staying on the 6,600-meter high platform, Night Sorrow began to cultivate. When he cultivated, he held the Ice Spirit Blood Essence with both hands, which could speed up the cultivation of the Universal Tao Bible. Night Sorrow cultivated day and night. He was not under any pressure now and there was nothing urgent to deal with. Tianyu and Silver Fox were taken care of by Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Needless to say, Tianyu's growth was very smooth. Silver Fox was not bad either. It was now at the peak of the energy-gathering realm, mainly because Night Sorrow often fed it pills. Night Sorrow didn't spend much time with Silver Fox, but Silver Fox was the closest to him. The others were much less close to him. Time passed by slowly. The disciples of the Medicine Valley who went to Danding Cliff to cultivate came and went. However, there was not anyone who came to the spot where Night Sorrow was. In the past, the record of climbing the Divinity Separation Steps was 6,300 meters. Night Sorrow's current record was 6,600 meters. In other words, those who could climb more than 6,000 meters were all 5th grade Void Inquiry Stage experts. However, there were not many Void Inquiry Stage disciples in the Medicine Valley. Moreover, all of them held important positions and were very busy. In the small building in the bamboo forest on the Taishan Peak, Gong Xian gathered all his junior brothers and sisters. Of course, Yang Lei was not here. I called everyone here today because 13 gave me some resources and asked me to distribute them to you. These are spirit calming pills and profound calming pills. Take whatever you need. Gong Xian took out the bottle of pills that Night Sorrow gave him. I'm the only one who needs the profound calming pill. Everyone except you need the spirit calming pill. Emochin said. Then, did 13th junior brother keep it for himself? Chu Lingfei asked. You guys haven't seen 13th junior brother for a while, right? If you see him you'll definitely be shocked. Oi said. Yes, it's been a while. I miss little 13. Emochin said. Your 6th senior sister is talking about his cultivation base. 13 has already reached the 6th level of the spirit severing stage. Now he went to Pilding Cliff to cultivate. Gong Xian said with a smile. 6th level of the spirit severing stage. 13 has reached the 6th level of the spirit severing stage? Emochin was stunned. Yes. You have to hurry up and cultivate. In the past 10 years, you've delayed too many things. You have to quickly make up for it. Gong Xian looked at Emochin and said. Emochin had been in the sect for more than 10 years. In the first few years, his cultivation base had also improved by leaps and bounds. However, there was a problem when he was condensing his core. Although he did not reach the false core realm, his core was still flawed. Therefore, he stayed at the peak of the core formation realm for a long time. Don't worry, eldest senior brother. I will work hard. Emochin nodded. Don't be discouraged. He also caught up with 6th senior sister. There are resources here. Everyone should work hard together. Always said. I will only be happy to have a junior brother like him. I won't be discouraged. Emochin said with a smile. That's good. Ordinary people can't understand 13's level of effort. It's really heartbreaking. Always said with some emotion. Gong Xian distributed the pills left by Night Sorrow to his junior brother and junior sister. He smiled and said, 6th junior sister, 13th junior brother and 9th junior sister are not here. We also want a drink. Okay, I'll prepare it now. Always smiled and went to prepare. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. Night Sorrow's myriad Dao Tome cultivation base had reached the 2nd level of the consolidation realm. His soul power had also increased a lot. However, his true Qi cultivation base was still far from advancing. The effect of Night Sorrow's Ice Spirit Blood Essence was very strong. His myriad Dao Tome cultivation base had increased very quickly. However, his true Qi cultivation required too much energy to reach the 6th level of the spirit severing stage. Since he couldn't advance, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate. After all, his cultivation base had been tempered by the pressure of Danding Cliff. Night Sorrow didn't know that danger had once again enveloped the Medicine Valley. The disciples of the Golden Fire sect, as well as the forces of the small sects and families under their control, had all pushed into the area close to the Medicine Valley. There was a reason for this. The Golden Fire sect's venerable Zhan Zhanghe had successfully broken through. While he was stabilizing his cultivation base, the Golden Fire sect was also prepared to fight to the death with the Medicine Valley. Zhan Zhanghe and Su Huantian had a discussion. After his cultivation base stabilized, the two of them would head to the Medicine Valley and kill Hua Yunpeng. Then they would completely eliminate the Medicine Valley's power. The Golden Fire sect couldn't allow the Medicine Valley to rise because it would affect their ruling position. Chapter 361. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. How could the Golden Flame sect hide their actions from the spies in the Medicine Valley? The Medicine Valley knew about it immediately. The Great Elder ordered all the core members of the Medicine Valley to withdraw to Danding Peak. All the Level 4 and Level 5 disciples were to withdraw, leaving no one outside. The Golden Flame sect sent out 2 venerables, which was not something the Medicine Valley could resist. In order to prevent the core members and backbones from being slaughtered, the Medicine Valley could only retreat. /COG Original R Chapter Z. This decision was also a helpless one. If one of the 2 venerables fought against Hua Yunpeng, who had just advanced, and the other attacked, it would be a nightmare for the Medicine Valley. The news of the tense situation in this region quickly spread throughout the eastern Xian region. Once again, the Scarlet Cloud sect sent out people to the Golden Flame sect's territory. The Scarlet Cloud sect also hates the Medicine Valley to the bone. More than 20 disciples at the peak of the core condensation stage were killed by Night Sorrow in a different dimension. This was somewhat unacceptable for them. After all, those were the elites of the Scarlet Cloud sect. In Eastern Profound City, 5 Void Inquiry Stage core disciples who were at the 5th level of the Void Inquiry Stage were killed because of Night Sorrow. This was the main reason why they mobilized their forces. The Scarlet Cloud sect would never let go of the chance to trample on the Medicine Valley. The Southern Dipper sect had done a good job. They had pushed their disciples to the border of the Golden Fire sect's territory. A great battle was about to break out. The key point of this tense situation was when the venerables of the Golden Flame sect would make their move. When the venerables of the Golden Flame sect made their move, their disciples would advance, and the Southern Dipper sect would also make their move. At the same time, Tianji Tower also sent the news to the headquarters. Lei Hua directly arranged for Yin Shui to set off with a few protectors. Night Sorrow didn't know what was going on outside as he worked hard to cultivate. When he was thirsty or hungry, he would drink and eat fasting pills. He planned to cultivate to the 7th level of the Spirit Severing stage and eat the Tranquil Profound pill before going out. When Night Sorrow's cultivation of the Myriad Tao Treasured Tome was once again on the verge of advancement, his true Qi cultivation also rose to the peak of Level 6 Spirit Severing stage. Night Sorrow was not in a hurry to break through. He continued to cultivate. Stabilizing his cultivation would only be beneficial to him. While Night Sorrow was stabilizing his true Qi, his Myriad Tao Tome naturally leveled up and reached the 3rd level of the Consolidation Realm. However, the Ice Spirit Blood Essence in his hand had lost its color and turned into a white stone. After throwing the pale white stone away, Night Sorrow took out another piece of Ice Spirit Blood Essence and continued to cultivate. After cultivating for 2 days, when the sky turned dark, Night Sorrow came to the 6,000-meter platform and started to break through. Night Sorrow was not worried about the same situation as last time. After all, the time required to advance was very short. There was no difficulty in advancing his true energy, because Night Sorrow had accumulated enough, and his foundation was solid. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow condensed his 7th true energy halo, then stabilized his cultivation base until dawn. After dawn, Night Sorrow returned to the 6,600-meter platform and began to cultivate. While increasing the cultivation of the Myriad Tao Treasured Tome, he also stabilized his true Qi cultivation of Level 7 Spirit Severing stage. After stabilizing his cultivation for a few days, Night Sorrow ate the Tranquil Pill and began to cultivate. While absorbing the energy of the Tranquil Pill to increase his true Qi cultivation, Night Sorrow continued to increase the cultivation of the Myriad Tao Treasured Tome. Elder Su was a little worried. This time, Night Sorrow had cultivated for a long time. Everyone had the mentality of being bored. After doing the same thing for a long time, one would feel bored, and it would be easy for one to develop inner demons. This time, using the Tranquil Pill, Night Sorrow took a longer time. It took 7 days for Night Sorrow to raise his cultivation from Level 7 Spirit Severing stage to the peak of the Spirit Severing stage. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow gave up on the idea of continuing to break through. Although his foundation was solid, it was not a good thing to increase his cultivation too quickly. After cultivating for another half a day, Yishang saw Tianyu come out to hunt. He called out and landed on Tianyu's back from Pill Cauldron Cliff, who had come to welcome him. Tianyu's cultivation base increased again, reaching the middle stage of Level 4 Demonic Beast. Silver Fox lay on Tianyu's back. Seeing Night Sorrow, Silver Fox directly pounced on Night Sorrow. Although Silver Fox's size did not increase by much, its strength and speed had increased a lot. This pounce caused Night Sorrow to sway. Night Sorrow patted Silver Fox's head and then commanded Tianyu to land. He needed to say goodbye to Elder Su before leaving. If you don't come down, I will chase you down. Level 7 Spirit Severing Stage. Your chi and blood have turned into essence chi smoke. That's good enough. Elder Su looked at Night Sorrow and nodded. After leaving Elder Su a jar of wine, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu to Taishan Peak. He knew that Yu Yangyu was in seclusion, and he might not be able to see him even if he went to Danding Peak. Returning to Bamboo Forest Peak, Night Sorrow was surprised to see Gong Xian. Big senior brother. Night Sorrow jumped off Tianyu's back and greeted Gong Xian as he carried Silver Fox, who was clinging to him. Your cultivation speed is indeed a blow to us. With your cultivation speed, it won't take long for you to reach level 5, Gong Xian said with a smile. Big senior brother, don't say that. How come you have time to come here today? Night Sorrow asked curiously. Gong Xian had to manage Taishan Peak and was usually very busy. Something else happened, Yang Lei said, and then told Night Sorrow about the current situation. What is Golden Flame Sect trying to do again and again? Night Sorrow was very annoyed. Their second venerable has come out of seclusion. We don't know what cultivation level he is at. With 2 venerables, our Medicine Valley will not be able to withstand them. So Great Elder Hua and Big Elder asked me to tell you to leave Medicine Valley and go to Dongshen City, Gong Xian said. I won't leave. Night Sorrow shook his head. His clenched fists were trembling. He was very angry. This time, our Medicine Valley is going to fight a defensive battle. We can't kill our way out. Besides Great Elder Hua and Master, the person they want to kill the most is you, Gong Xian said. Big senior brother, don't say any more. I won't leave, Night Sorrow said. 9th junior sister, this is what Big Elder and the Great Elders want. Gong Xian looked at Yang Lei. Big senior brother, we know this is for our own good, but Night Sorrow and I can't leave you behind. If it's Big senior brother, he can't do it either, right? Then don't force me in Night Sorrow, Yang Lei said. Good. I Gong Xian am proud to have juniors like you. Then let's fight together. If 1 comes, we'll kill 1. If 2 comes, we'll kill a pair. If we die in battle, we'll be brothers and sisters in our next lives. 13 You should have some points in Tianji Tower. Go exchange them for some medicine and prepare for the bloody battle. After hearing Yang Lei's words, Gong Xian opened his arms and hugged Yang Lei and Night Sorrow's shoulders. Okay, I'll go now. Night Sorrow flashed onto Tianyu's back and left Bamboo Forest Peak. At the same time, on the top floor of Tianji Tower in Danding City, Lei Hua and Yin Shui were drinking tea. The Golden Flame Sect really doesn't know what's good for them. Since Lord K has given the order, we'll kill their venerable when they come out. Also, the Red Cloud Sect has sent a lot of people. Medicine Valley might not be able to hold them off, Yin Shui said. Chapter 362. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go Divided by Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Vice Tower Master, do you mean that as long as the people of Golden Flame Sect come out, they will die? Yin Shui looked at Lei Hua and asked. In the Tianji Tower of the Eastern Profound Domain, Lei Hua, Yin Shui, and Ho Yuan usually discussed things when the Tower Master didn't come out. Yin Shui was the chief guardian, leading the guardian team of the Tianji Tower of the Eastern Profound Domain. Ho Yuan was the law enforcement elder, in charge of some elders in the law enforcement team. Lei Hua was the overall commander, and his position was higher than Ho Yuan and Yin Shui's. However, this operation was not the result of their discussion. It was the order of the Tower Master. Except for Lei Hua, Yin Shui and Ho Yuan didn't know the situation. Yes, but we don't need to care too much. We just need to kill their venerable. As for the other things, we won't participate. I want to know what the Medicine Valley is doing now. What do you think Night Sorrow will do? Lei Hua asked. With that guy's character, needless to say, he will live and die with the Medicine Valley. If he escapes, he won't be him, Yin Shui said with a smile. That's right. That guy is stubborn. With the venerable in the Medicine Valley, it's not convenient for us to go there. Otherwise, I would really like to see that guy. He's here. Lei Hua found that Night Sorrow had landed in front of the Tianji Tower on his Tianyu. Night Sorrow, you're here. Dong greeted Night Sorrow. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao say www.ichuxs.com, Enforcer Dong, exchange all my points in the Celestial Terminus Tower for healing medicine, Yishang said. No need. Come up. Lei Hua, wearing a mask, appeared at the top of the stairs. Looking at the black and white hair, Night Sorrow knew who it was. He was stunned for a moment, and then followed Lei Hua to the top floor of the Tianji Tower. Chief Enforcer is here too? Night Sorrow was surprised to see Lei Hua. He was even more surprised to see Yin Shui here. The situation in Medicine Valley is so exciting. How can I not come and have a look? What are your plans? Yin Shui asked. What other plans could he have? Just now he was planning to exchange all his points in Tianji Tower for healing medicine. He must be planning to fight to the death, Lei Hua said with a smile. We have no choice but to fight to the death. They've gone too far, Night Sorrow said as he let out a sigh. It's mainly because your Medicine Valley has risen too quickly. Look at your cultivation, you've already reached the peak of the 7th level of the spirit severing stage. If they don't destroy you, how can they maintain their dominance? Yin Shui said with a smile. If they dare to come, then we, the Medicine Valley, dare to fight, said Night Sorrow. All right. I like your temper. You should be prepared to counterattack. Tianji Tower has made a decision. If the Venerable of the Golden Flame sect dares to come, then he will die. Lei Hua didn't hide anything from Night Sorrow and directly told him the decision of Tianji Tower. Hearing Lei Hua's words, Night Sorrow waved his arm excitedly. The current disadvantage of the Medicine Valley was that they couldn't compete with the Venerable of the other side. If they could, then the Medicine Valley wouldn't be afraid of battles at other levels at all. Thank you, seniors, Night Sorrow said gratefully. No more pressure, right? Then take out the wine and drink. Yin Shui said. Night Sorrow smiled, took out 3 jars of wine and placed them on the table. Thank you, seniors, for your help. Night Sorrow doesn't know how to say anything nice, so I'll toast to you, seniors. Night Sorrow opened the wine jar and took a big gulp. One more thing. Your token needs to be changed. The Black Patrol token doesn't suit you. Take it back and return it to me, Yin Shui said. Night Sorrow nodded, took out several tokens from his storage ring and searched among them. Night Sorrow had many identity tokens, including the Medicine Valley's Disciple token, the Patrol token of Tianji Tower, the Medicine Valley's First Elders token, the Dongshan City's Black Iron Guard's Law Enforcement token, and the White Jade token of Wu Lingfei. After finding the Tianji Tower's Patrol token, Night Sorrow handed it to Yin Shui, and then put away the other tokens. Lei Hua and Yin Shui looked at each other and saw a token that shocked them. It was the token that Wu Lingfei gave to Night Sorrow. Both Lei Hua and Yin Shui recognized it. Yin Shui handed a silver token with flames to Night Sorrow. This token is useful. Go back. Tell your master or the top management of Medicine Valley to prepare for a counterattack. In fact, you have a great advantage. Once the Golden Flame sect's Venerable fell, they lost their momentum. On the other hand, your side gained momentum. Now, all that's left is to fight for territory, Lei Hua said. Will Tianji Tower's efforts be in vain? Night Sorrow thought for a while and asked. Tianji Tower did this mainly to prevent the core members' homes from being destroyed, and to seize some resources. Isn't Golden Flame sect's wealth stronger? Lei Hua said with a smile. Keep the teleportation formation for me. Hearing Lei Hua's words, Night Sorrow hurriedly said. He knew that Tianji Tower would definitely sweep away all the resources of Golden Flame sect. Ah, you brat, will keep it for you. We'll find a formation master to help you move the foundation of the teleportation formation here, Lei Hua said with a laugh. It was the first time he saw Night Sorrow so strongly in need. Thank you. I don't want to go to Dongshan City in the future. It'll take months, Night Sorrow said. Vice Tower Master said he'll keep it for you, so he'll keep it for you, Yin Shui said. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation, then I'll go back. Yishang bowed to Lei Hua and Yin Shui. He didn't exchange for any pills and rode Tianyu out of the Celestial Terminus Tower. This little guy reached the 7th level of the spirit severing stage so quickly. His blood and chi surged and formed essence chi smoke. He is indeed amazing. Also, I didn't realize that this guy was a miser. Yin Shui gave her evaluation of Night Sorrow. He doesn't hide himself. What he has is what he has. It's this state of mind that allowed him to cultivate twice the result with half the effort. This mentality is amazing. Later we'll go and stop Su Huanqian and Old Devil Zhan from Golden Flame sect, Lei Hua said. Night Sorrow drove Tianyu back to Medicine Valley and went directly to the Pill Cauldron Hall. In the Pill Cauldron Hall, Night Sorrow saw Hua Yunping and the Great Elder frowning. Didn't I ask your great senior brother to tell you to leave? Hua Yunping glared at Night Sorrow and waved his arm, smashing a chair in the hall. Great Elder, I have something to say. Night Sorrow looked at the angry Hua Yunping and said in surprise. Speak. After you're done speaking, get the hell out of here. Get as far away as you can. Hua Yunping's face was still filled with anger. He didn't want anything to happen to Yi Shan during this calamity. Then Night Sorrow told them about Tianji Tower's decision. They want to kill the two venerables of Golden Flame sect? Then we'll definitely win this war. I and the other great elders will go directly to Golden Flame sect's base to kill them. Hearing Night Sorrow's words, Hua Yunping's anger disappeared. What was left was surprise. Grand Elder, it's better if you don't go to the Golden Flame sect's lair first. The Empyrean Terminus Tower is helping us, but we'll have to use the Golden Flame sect's resources. It's not good for our Medicine Valley to go there first, Yi Shang said. He didn't want any problems to happen in the middle. Chapter 363. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow, it's all thanks to you that the Medicine Valley's crisis was resolved. If it weren't for you, the Tianji Tower might not even look us in the eye. Love go little say. Hua Yunpeng looked at Night Sorrow and said. Don't say that, Grand Elder Hua. Some things are caused by me, Night Sorrow said apologetically. In terms of the relationship between the sect and the disciple, what the disciple needs to do is to fight for the sect and show the sect's prestige. The sect is the disciple's backing. As a disciple of the Medicine Valley, you have done what a disciple should do. It's the sect's backing that is not strong enough that you are wronged, Hua Yunping said with some emotion. You're exaggerating, Grand Elder Hua. Whether the sect's backing is strong or not is also the direction that all disciples should work towards, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, there are no outsiders here. I have something important to tell you. You have to work hard to climb Danding Cliff. This is very important to you and the Medicine Valley, the Grand Elder said. Very important? Isn't it just a record? Night Sorrow asked in confusion. Of course it's not just a record. The Medicine Valley's most precious spiritual weapon is on Danding Cliff. It should be said that it's more precious than a spiritual weapon. Only by climbing Danding Cliff can you get close to it and be recognized by it, the Grand Elder said. Can't the Grand Elder get close to it? Night Sorrow shook his head. He didn't quite understand. After entering the Venerable Realm, you can't get close to Danding Cliff. Even if you need it, you can only release your perception to communicate with the Eight-Dragon Cauldron. As for whether you can get close to it and use its energy, it depends entirely on its mood, Hua Yunping said helplessly. I see. Night Sorrow understood the key. He didn't expect the Eight-Dragon Cauldron to be so domineering that it couldn't even ignore a Venerable. Night Sorrow also knew that advanced spirit artifacts had their own artifact spirits, just like the Thunder Rumbling Sect's Thunder Tower. Previously, in Night Sorrow, he had heard from Yang Lei that the Eight-Dragon Cauldron was a high-grade spirit artifact. It seemed that the information was not accurate. Neither your master nor I have the chance. We are still far from the top of Pill Tripod Cliff, Hua Yunping said. Then the Great Elder explained to Night Sorrow. The actual height of Danding Cliff was 9,000 meters. After 7,200 meters was the sky stairway. There was no need to climb. It was just a long flight of stairs. At the end of the stairs was the Eight-Dragon Cauldron. These were all trials and tests for the Venerable Ones. Once one entered the Venerable One's realm, one would no longer be able to get close to Pill Tripod Cliff. Love Gone Little Sake Night Sorrow also knew that before Hua Yunpeng became a Venerable, he could only reach the 7,000-meter platform. Yu Yangyu was also unable to reach the stairway to heaven, which meant that the two of them did not even have the qualifications to step on the stairway to heaven. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Night Sorrow calculated for a while. The record of the divine rank of the Medicine Valley's predecessors was 6,300 meters. If the record of the Void Inquiry stage did not continue to shrink, it would be 7,200 meters, which was just enough to reach the stairway to heaven. You want to know the record of the Pill Tripod Cliff for the Void Inquiry stage experts of the Medicine Valley? The Great Elder seemed to have understood Night Sorrow's thoughts. Night Sorrow nodded. This was indeed what he wanted to know. 7,150 meters. The stairway to heaven is right in front of your eyes, but you can't reach it. The Great Elder said. This disciple will work hard. However, no one can predict the future. Night Sorrow said. All right. It's enough that you know about this. Since the Venerable Ones of the Tianji Tower have decided to take action, then send the disciples out to gather first. The core disciples are to wait for orders in Pill Tripod City. Hua Yunping made his decision. Night Sorrow nodded and rode Tianyu away from the Pill Tripod Peak. Even the sect can be protected by his luck. He is already at the peak of the 7th grade spirit-severing realm at the age of 18. He has a high chance of attaining the void inquiry stage before he turns 20. His achievements are destined to surpass the predecessors of the Medicine Valley. Hua Yunping said. The Medicine Valley is lucky. If we rejected him during the disciple recruitment ceremony 2 years ago, it would be a different situation. The great elder said with some relief. Everything is destined. It's not something that can be changed by anyone. Look at his Mount Tianyu. It has a green golden beak and green golden claws. It is still a minor at the 4th grade. Who can compare with it? Hua Yunping shook his head and said. Night Sorrow returned to the bamboo forest peak and told Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu about the situation. That's great. Tianji Tower is really awesome. Yang Lei said happily. That shouldn't be the case. Logically speaking, even if Tianji Tower helped you, they would usually try to mediate the situation. They wouldn't directly kill the venerable realm experts of the other party. Xikong Chuyu said after thinking for a while. It should be the decision made by Senior Lei Hua and the others. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and poured a bowl for each of them. That's not quite right. Other than the branch lords and the headquarters, no one else has the right to make such a decision. Xikong Chuyu's understanding of Tianji Tower was much deeper than Night Sorrow's. Wait. I thought of something. The lady I saw at East Snow Mountain was also a member of Tianji Tower. She said that if the people of Tianji Tower didn't value me, then they must be blind. If she could say that, then her position must be higher than Lei Hua and the others. Could she be the Pavilion Lord? Night Sorrow seemed to have understood something. Tianji Tower issued the blood essence of ice spirits mission. She also needs the blood essence of ice spirits. This shouldn't be a coincidence. Yang Lei nodded. Night Sorrow nodded as he understood the crux of the problem. While the three of them were talking, a string of fireworks appeared in the sky above Danding Peak. Gather. This is the signal for disciples above the 3rd stage to gather. Let's go. Yang Lei said. When the three of them arrived at Danding Square on their flying demonic beasts, many disciples of Medicine Valley had already arrived. Soon, more people arrived one after another. Now, everyone is to go to Danding City and wait for orders near the City Lord's mansion. Gather as soon as you see the signal. The Great Elder gave the order. With just one order, all the disciples of Medicine Valley set off. The Great Elder and Hua Yunpeng called out to Night Sorrow. The battle this time will be unprecedentedly fierce. It will be a real battle. You must pay attention to your safety. Only when you grow up safely can you do more things. Medicine Valley will need you in the future. Hua Yunpeng looked at Night Sorrow and said, I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. You too. Safety comes first. Hua Yunpeng looked at Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu and said, Yang Lei was a disciple of Medicine Valley. Xikong Chuyu was Night Sorrow's fiancée. She was also half a person of Medicine Valley. Bowing to Hua Yunpeng and the Great Elder, Night Sorrow and the other two also set off for Danding City on their flying demonic beasts. The Golden Flame sect is doomed this time. However, it's hard to say what will happen in the future. The Southern Dipper sect and the Freedom sect will easily take over their territory. Yang Lei said. They won't go too far. After all, they know what happened. If the venerables of the Golden Flame sect can be killed, so can their venerables. Therefore, as long as they are not fools, they will understand that there are some things and lines that cannot be touched. The Golden Flame sect is not a cake that can be eaten by anyone. Xikong Chuyu said. Tianji Tower wants to eat the lion's share. But as I said, leave the teleportation formation to me. Night Sorrow said with a smile. They agreed? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and asked with a smile. Chapter 364. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. It's great that they agreed. With the teleportation array, it will be much easier for Danding City to develop. It will also be easier to contact other sections. We can also go directly to Dongshan City. Xikong Chuyu excitedly said. Xikong Chuyu excitedly said. What a pity for the Golden Flame Palace of the Golden Flame sect. That's a spiritual weapon of the same level as the Thunder Tower, Yang Lei said. As long as they don't help us, the Medicine Valley will definitely lose. The things of the Golden Flame sect don't belong to us. I don't care about that as long as the Medicine Valley is safe, Night Sorrow said. Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu understood that whatever Night Sorrow cared about, Night Sorrow didn't care about external things. After arriving at Danding City, Night Sorrow went to the Tianji Tower first. However, he didn't see Lei Hua and Yin Shui. After talking to Enforcer Dong, Night Sorrow went to Yang Lei's mansion. Love Gong Little Say Kun Yang Lei's mansion. Night Sorrow met all of his senior brothers and sisters. Your cultivation. Mo Chin came over and punched Night Sorrow's shoulder as he said in shock. 11th senior brother, Sister Ling Fei, you're all here. Night Sorrow greeted them. Our master's disciples are all here. No one will be left behind in a battle like this, Huanan said. 3rd senior brother, you've entered the 5th stage? Noticing Huanan's cultivation, Night Sorrow asked in surprise. I just broke through a few days ago. I have to thank you, 13, for your spiritual liquid. It helped me a lot and helped me break through the bottleneck, Huanan said with a smile. Then everyone drank tea and chatted. The atmosphere was particularly harmonious and relaxed. After staying in Yang Lei's mansion for 2 days, Enforcer Dong called Night Sorrow to the Tianji Tower. On the top floor of the Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow saw Lei Hua and Yin Shui drinking tea. Their 2 venerables have been killed. The Medicine Valley can go and take over the territory. We have to go to the headquarters of the Golden Flame sect. If we're late, we won't get any benefits. You know that, Yin Shui said with a smile. Night Sorrow thanks the 2 seniors again, Night Sorrow said. Your Medicine Valley will advance from the east and directly attack from the weakest point. The Golden Flame sect and the Red Cloud sect's main forces are guarding the west, so you don't have to go there. Rest assured. Lei Hua and Yin Shui, calm? Yishang left the Celestial Terminus Tower and returned to the City Lord Mansion. He told the Great Elder and Hua Yunping the news. Done? So fast. Then let's go from the east. There's a strange force on the west. Our people went to investigate but they were all knocked out and sent back, Hua Yunping said. Then the disciples of the Medicine Valley gathered and started to attack from the east where the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect met. This time the Medicine Valley didn't stay. All the elders, protectors and enforcers were sent out. How could the Golden Flame sect withstand the attack led by venerables? They were defeated all the way. On the Medicine Valley side, they arranged for older but weaker disciples to guard the territories they had conquered. The Medicine Valley moved forward very quickly. The cities belonging to the Golden Flame sect were taken out one by one. This made the spies of the major forces in the area send out the news. Ardent Wind had also received the news from Lei Hua and had begun the slaughter. While slaughtering the forces from Golden Flame sect and Scarlet Cloud sect, she had also killed a group of free and unfettered sect disciples who had come to snatch their territory. The Bloodstrike Guards were more ruthless than the Medicine Valley. They were all at least at the 4th level of cultivation. It was easy for them to wipe out the people of the Golden Flame sect. The disciples of the Golden Flame sect who ran away hurriedly ran back to Golden Flame City to report. What did you say? Those people didn't make any sound. They just killed? Zhang Tianyi asked in surprise. Look at the chapters of Q on F. Yes, they are well trained. They appeared with only the sound of their footsteps and energy breaking through the air. There was no other sound. They have already destroyed dozens of our cities. If I hadn't retreated quickly, I would have been killed, a protector of the Golden Flame sect said. Then another disciple came to report that the Golden Flame sect had lost the East Road and all the disciples guarding the city had been killed. Zhang Tianyi's expression changed. He glanced at Su Ruokong who was sitting on the main seat and asked the elders in the hall, did the venerables send back any news? No news at all, Su Qinfeng said. He felt that something was wrong. While Su Qinfeng was speaking, there was a fluctuation outside the main hall of the Golden Flame sect. A group of people appeared, led by the masked Lei Hua and Yin Shui. They were followed by a few protectors. What is Tianji Tower trying to do? Su Ruokong, the sect master of the Golden Flame sect, asked in a trembling voice. He hadn't said a word all this time. Nothing much. You 2 venerables are dead. It's your turn now, Lei Hua said coldly. While Lei Hua was speaking, the protectors behind him and Yin Shui had already attacked and killed all the disciples of the Golden Flame sect. This is a conflict between the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect. Don't forget Tianji Tower's position, Su Ruokong shouted hysterically. Haha. You're right, but you have to understand that Tianji Tower has its own values. The value of the Medicine Valley is worth it. Sometimes there are things that don't have a reason to do, Lei Hua said. Are the Blood Guards also from Tianji Tower? Zhang Tianyi asked. That's not important to you. What's important is that after today, the Golden Flame sect will only be a name recorded in history. Lei Hua reached out his right hand and grabbed Zhang Qianni. He shook his hand and turned him into a bloody mist. Yin Shui also attacked Su Ruokong. Massacre. It was a massacre without any means to fight back. All the higher-ups of the Golden Flame sect in the main hall were killed. Yin Shui, go and take over the Golden Flame Palace. Hey Shang, come with me to take over the teleportation portal. Since we've promised them, we have to do it. The rest of you kill any Golden Flame sect stage 4 cultivators on the spot and take all their resources, Lei Hua said to the protectors. Soon, the battle subsided and Golden Flame City fell into a dead silence. The teleportation portal in the center of Golden Flame City was dismantled by Lei Hua and the black-clothed elder. They dismantled it into materials and stored them in their storage rings. Hey Shang, go to the Qinji Tower branch in Danding City and ask them to inform Knight Sorrow of the Medicine Valley. Let him arrange the teleportation portal, Lei Hua said to He Shang. I understand. I'll go now, He Shang said. Wait a while. Bring him some resources that we don't need, Lei Hua said after thinking for a while. Soon, the people of Qinji Tower gathered at the City Lord's mansion in Golden Flame City. Deputy Tower Master, this thing isn't easy to subdue. Yin Shui held a golden palace in her hand. It was the spiritual weapon of the Golden Flame sect. We don't need this thing. Just give it to the Medicine Valley and we'll take the resources we can use. Chief Protector, what do you think? We also saw the token, Lei Hua said after thinking for a while. Chapter 365. Geniuses remember love in 1 second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Then the other protectors also handed in the resources. Let's go back and figure out how to deal with these resources. Black Entropy, you go. Do what Knight Sorrow asked you to do, Lei Hua said to Black Entropy. The Medicine Valley was advancing very fast. They went straight into the territory and the Golden Flame sect had no power to stop them. In addition, Hua Yunpeng asked the First Elder and Qian Wu to go to the West Road to take over the territory. Half a month later, the people from the East Road of the Medicine Valley arrived at the Golden Flame City. At this time the city was a bit chaotic. Without the suppression of the cultivators of the Golden Flame sect, some lawbreakers were in a mess. Then the Medicine Valley carried out a strong suppression. Some of the people from the Medicine Valley stayed in the Golden Flame City while the others went out to take over the territory. More than 10 days later, the First Elder and Qian Wu also arrived at the Golden Flame City. However, there were not many people behind them because the cities in the Golden Flame sect's area needed to be taken over. Did it go well? Hua Yunpeng looked at the First Elder and asked. Everything is going well. We have already arranged for the experienced and talented disciples to guard the various cities, the First Elder and Qian Wu said. Fortunately, no one took the opportunity to take over the territory. There should be no problem, Hua Yunpeng said. This mess needs to be cleaned up slowly. Although the Golden Flame City is prosperous, the focus of the Medicine Valley is still Danding City and Danding Mountain, the First Elder said. Then we should also send some capable people to guard here. After all, this place is also very important, Hua Yunpeng said. The final result of the discussion was that Qian Wu and Huanan would stay. Huanan would be the governor of the Golden Flame City and Qian Wu would be his assistant. Then those who should retreat would retreat. This battle was declared over. In addition, the Medicine Valley also wanted to thank the Thunder Rumbling sect and the Southern Dipper sect. During the battle between the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect, the people of the Thunder Rumbling sect blocked the way of the Nebula sect and the Southern Dipper sect blocked the way of the Red Cloud sect. Both of them had helped the Medicine Valley a lot. Knight Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu did not go with the group. From Hua Yunpeng. Yi Shang, you said that the other force is probably from Dongshan City? I don't know. But according to the First Elder and Second Elder's description, it's the style of the Black Iron Guards, Knight Sorrow said. In short, this is a good thing. The Medicine Valley can be considered to have a firm foothold in the Eastern Profound Domain. Although there is still a gap between their strength and the other 6 superpowers, they will slowly catch up with the passage of time. In addition, they have allies and they are not bad, Sikong Chuyu said. The 3 of them traveled very fast. It took them less than half a month to return to the Danding City. When Knight Sorrow and the other 2 returned to Yang Lei's mansion and sat down, Xioshu told them that the people of the Qinji Tower had come to see Knight Sorrow twice. Nodding to Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, Knight Sorrow went to the Qinji Tower. Under the guidance of Enforcer Dong, Night Sorrow came to the guest room of the Tianji Tower. Inside the room, Night Sorrow saw the masked Black Entropy. After nodding to Night Sorrow, Black Entropy waved at Enforcer Dong. "You are Night Sorrow. Can you show me your token?" Black Entropy asked. He had to confirm Night Sorrow's identity before talking. Night Sorrow took out his identity token from the Tianji Tower. He didn't know what grade his token was. Black Entropy of the Enforcer team greets Lord Night. Black Entropy bowed when he saw Night Sorrow's token. Enforcer Black Entropy is too polite. "What can I do for you?" Night Sorrow helped Black Entropy up with one hand. "The Vice Tower Master asked me to bring the teleportation array here. Also, I have to give this to you." Black Entropy took out the Golden Flame Palace and handed it to Night Sorrow. "What's this?" Night Sorrow asked Black Entropy as he held the glowing Golden Flame Palace. "This is the Golden Flame Palace of the Golden Flame Sect. You can take your time to study it. Also, where is the best place for the teleportation array?" Black Entropy asked after explaining the Golden Flame Palace. "Where is the best place for the teleportation array?" "I don't know." Enforcer Black Entropy, can you give me a suggestion? Night Sorrow asked. "First, it's safe. The teleportation array can't be destroyed. In other words, it can't be placed in a place where it can be easily attacked. If a rank 5 Death Warrior destroys your teleportation array, it will be a huge gain for him," Black Entropy said. "That's a little troublesome. It's not convenient to use it at the gate of the Medicine Valley," Night Sorrow said with a frown. "If you have enough spirit stones, I can help you set up the array." "It's not a problem to set up an illusion array or a killing array," Black Entropy said. "Spirit stones are not a problem. In that case, set it near the City Lord's mansion. Let the people of the Medicine Valley set up a team of enforcers," Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. "Okay, let's do it." Black Entropy nodded. Black Entropy and Night Sorrow went to the square in front of the City Lord's mansion. Night Sorrow asked the patrolling city guards to call Yang Lei over. Night Sorrow introduced them to each other. "How about this? I'll set up an illusion array and a killing array here. Also, you guys can build a hall here that includes the array and teleportation array. This way there won't be any problems with safety," Black Entropy said. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei nodded. Then Night Sorrow took out a pile of high-grade spirit stones. They were the high-grade spirit stones that he dug out in front of the Venerable Lushan's cave. The quality was slightly lower than the ones he dug out in the Void Fiendish space. "Forever and ever. Y3/1 look small. Speak." Then Black Entropy took out his weapon and drew some squares on the ground. Then he began to set up the foundation of the array. At the same time he explained the principles of the array to Night Sorrow and Yang Lei, as well as the attack area. Black Entropy set up 2 arrays in the square in Danding City. At the same time he told Night Sorrow about the safe and dangerous areas of the array. Then he took out some tools in the center of the array and began to dig out the array foundation to set up the teleportation array. While setting up the teleportation array, Black Entropy explained the situation of the teleportation array to Night Sorrow and Yang Lei. Currently there are 3 space crystals in this teleportation array. There are also 2 space crystals that correspond to other teleportation arrays. One of them corresponds to Dongshen City, while the other belongs to the Scarlet Cloud Sect. However, the Scarlet Cloud Sect is unable to teleport there. Look, the space crystal that is installed is also dark. This means that the other party has closed the teleportation array. Now that your enemies, of course, they're afraid that you'll teleport there and attack them, Black Entropy said. "In other words, we can only teleport to Dongshen City for now?" Night Sorrow asked. "Yes. If you want to go to other sects, you can use the teleportation array from Dongshen City if you're just here for an exchange and not for a war. However, the teleportation array in Dongshen City is very strict. You're not allowed to use the teleportation array in Dongshen City for war," Black Entropy said. "We understand." Night Sorrow nodded. Chapter 366. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go Divided by Xiao? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Then, Black Entropy explained to Night Sorrow and Yang Lei the principle and usage of the teleportation portal in detail. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.aichuxs. So first, there was the problem of the space crystal. The space crystal of the Medicine Valley teleportation portal had a split in the slot of Dongshen City's teleportation portal. Therefore, the teleportation portal in the Medicine Valley could be used to teleport to Dongshen City. The slot of the teleportation portal had a split of the space crystal of Dongxian City's teleportation portal, so it could be used to teleport from Dongxian City. If Crimson Cloud City removed the split of the space crystal of the Medicine Valley's teleportation portal, Crimson Cloud City would not be able to teleport to Dongxian City. If the Medicine Valley installed a split of the space crystal of Crimson Cloud City's teleportation portal, Crimson Flame City would be able to teleport over. Night Sorrow took the space crystal of Crimson Flame City. This cannot be installed. It is unnecessary and dangerous. Done. The teleportation portal can be used now. Black Entropy said as he clapped his hands after putting away the space crystal of the teleportation portal. Thank you. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Black Entropy. Sir, you are too kind. When you are in Dongxian City, please treat me to a drink, Black Entropy said with a smile. Ninth Senior Sister, please get someone to build a hall. I will accompany Guardian Black Entropy for a drink, Night Sorrow said to Yang Lei. Go ahead then. Thank you, Guardian Black Entropy. Yang Lei nodded at Black Entropy. You don't have to be so polite. Also, the hall where the teleportation array is located should be built with obsidian. It can isolate energy so it's safe. Black Shang reminded Yang Lei before leaving with Night Sorrow. After Night Sorrow and Black Entropy left, Yang Lei immediately gathered the high-level guards of Danding City and surrounded the area where the teleportation portal was located. Remember, not even a fly is allowed to enter this area. You are not allowed to enter either. After returning to the City Lord's mansion, Yang Lei arranged for people to collect the obsidian. She also sent people to the headquarters of the Medicine Valley to look for the obsidian. Night Sorrow found a tavern and brought Black Entropy into a private room. He then took out 2 jars of wine. I don't know how to be polite and I don't want to say anything. Let's drink. More $new mosty fast, on KQ? Alright, I like to communicate with a straightforward young man like you, my lord, Black Shang said as he took off his mask. After drinking 2 jars of wine with Hei Shang, Night Sorrow brought Hei Shang, who had already put on his mask, back to the teleportation array. Hei Shang wanted to return to Dongxian City after he was done with his business. Yang Lei took out a middle-grade crystal and installed it on the teleportation array. Take care. See you in Dongxian City, Black Entropy waved at Night Sorrow and Yang Lei, as well as Sikong Chuyu who was walking over. After Black Entropy left, Night Sorrow looked around and nodded with satisfaction. Yang Lei's arrangements were very strict. They were surrounded by high-level city guards. I've already informed the sect and asked the sect to send an elder to guard the place. This place must be safe, Yang Lei said. In order to be safe, let's stay here tonight. Night Sorrow said with a smile. The 3 of them drank wine and guarded the teleportation array. Although there were high-level city guards, the 3 of them were still worried. The next morning, people from the Medicine Valley came. The leader was Yu Yangyu. Greetings, Master. Yang Lei and Night Sorrow bowed. Sikong Chuyu also bowed and greeted his master. Master, have you broken through to the supremacy stage? Yang Lei went forward and hugged Yu Yangyu's arm. I just broke through. I didn't contribute much in the sect war this time, Yu Yangyu said with a smile. Congratulations, Master. Yang Lei took a few steps back and bowed again with Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu. You don't have to be so polite. Our Medicine Valley also has a teleportation array. 13, you've made a great contribution, but the sect can't give you any more rewards. Yu Yangyu looked at Night Sorrow and said with a smile. I don't need it. As long as the sect is safe, I'll be at ease. Night Sorrow shook his head and said what was in his heart. The craftsmen will arrive later. The construction of the main hall must be solid. The more solid it is, the better. Yu Yangyu looked at the teleportation array and said. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and took out the Golden Flame Palace. Master, you've entered the supremacy stage. I'll give this to you as a congratulatory gift. Night Sorrow held the Golden Flame Palace with both hands and handed it to Yu Yangyu. Seeing the Golden Flame Palace, Yu Yangyu looked at Night Sorrow in surprise and asked, Is this a spiritual weapon? Yes, it's the most precious spiritual weapon of the Golden Flame sect. Chenji Tower gave it to me but I can't use it. Night Sorrow said. You can use it in the future. Keep it. Yu Yangyu directly handed the Golden Flame Palace back to Night Sorrow. Master, just take it. It's useless to me. Besides, this kind of spiritual weapon is suitable for cultivating the sect's disciples. It's not very effective in battle. Night Sorrow shook his head. Night Sorrow knew a little about spiritual weapons like the Golden Flame Palace and the Thunder Tower. These spiritual weapons were only suitable for defense and killing. Although they were more precious than ordinary offensive spiritual weapons, they were not suitable for mobile use. Yu Yangyu thought for a moment and said, "Then I'll keep it for you. When you can use it, come to me and take it back." Night Sorrow smiled. He was really worried that Yu Yangyu would not accept it. The Golden Flame Palace was of little value to him. Using it as a mansion? It was not practical. Soon the craftsmen arrived. Yu Yangyu ordered them not to rush to work and to find the best obsidian to build it. At the same time he sent Night Sorrow and the others back to rest. He held the Golden Flame Palace and meditated near the teleportation array and began to refine it. Silver snow had erased all the marks that belonged to the experts of the Golden Flame sect in the Golden Flame Palace. Yu Yangyu could directly refine it, so there was no need to hide. 13 You've lost a lot this time. But since Master has become a venerable, I miss him very much. He has a spiritual weapon to protect him, so I didn't stop you. Yang Lei held Night Sorrow's hand and said, "I understand. Night Senior Sister, you're thinking too much. I don't feel bad. The Golden Flame Palace is really not suitable for me." Night Sorrow said with a smile. While the teleportation array was being built, Night Sorrow began to cultivate in seclusion. He needed to break through. His cultivation of the myriad Tao Tome had increased exponentially. He was not far from the 3rd level of the consolidation realm. In addition, he had suppressed his true Qi cultivation for a while. It would be a waste of time to stabilize it. After a night, Night Sorrow completed his breakthrough and stabilized his cultivation. Seeing Night Sorrow come out, Yang Lei called for Sikong Chuyu and asked Chioshu to bring some food and wine to the teleportation array. Seeing them arrive, Yu Yangyu, who was holding the Golden Flame Palace, stood up and said, "The refining is complete. Let's drink first and then set up the Golden Flame Palace." "Master can control the Golden Flame Palace?" Night Sorrow asked. "I've already refined it and understood its situation. It's a support-type spiritual weapon. As long as it's activated, it can cover this area. The area it covers is absolutely safe." Yu Yangyu said. "Master, it's not convenient for you. The cultivation environment here is not as good as Danding Peak." Yang Lei said. "That's what you don't understand. After refining the Golden Flame Palace, I can use the Golden Flame Palace to assist my cultivation. There are 6 levels in the Golden Flame Palace. I can stay on the 6th level to cultivate. You must know that the Golden Flame Palace can absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth." Yu Yangyu said. "That's good." Yang Lei nodded. Chapter 367. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Master, I have to travel everywhere in the future. Even if I can get the 8-Dragon Cauldron to recognize me as its master, I can't go there, Night Sorrow said. He didn't want to be held back by the 8-Dragon Cauldron. If you can get the 8-Dragon Cauldron to recognize you as its master, you can do whatever you want. It's nothing. You are a disciple of the Medicine Valley. When the Medicine Valley needs you, it's good enough that you can help. Hua Yunpeng appeared with the Great Elder and a few others beside him. Everyone knew about the teleportation array and wanted to come and take a look. "Greetings, Valley Master." Hua Yunpeng and the others bowed to Yu Yangyu. "You're welcome." Yu Yangyu waved his hand and energy appeared to help everyone up. The Medicine Valley also has a teleportation array. 13 You've made a great contribution again. The Great Elder looked at Night Sorrow and said, "I will try my best to do what I can for the sect." Night Sorrow bowed and said, "It's not just this teleportation array. Look at this." Yu Yangyu stretched out his right hand and the Golden Flame Palace that was originally small in his hand suddenly became bigger and turned into a pavilion, shining with golden light in the air. After everyone saw it clearly, Yu Yangyu waved his hand and took back the Golden Flame Palace. "This is the Golden Flame Palace, the spiritual weapon of the Golden Flame sect?" The Great Elder looked at Yu Yangyu in shock and asked. "That's right. 13 gave it to me a few days ago. This spiritual tool has a very strong auxiliary effect. Later, when I set it up properly, everyone will be able to figure it out," said Lu Yangyu. "This is practical. The 8-Dragon Cauldron is the signature of our Medicine Valley, but we haven't been able to control it. It's an awkward problem. Now that we have this, it's great." The Great Elder patted Night Sorrow's shoulder and said, "So, Night Sorrow, as long as you can make the 8-Dragon Cauldron recognize you as its master, you can go without worry. Your path may be outside, but remember that Medicine Valley is your home, Hua Yunping said. Yes, the value of the teleportation formation and the Golden Flame Palace is immeasurable. 13. If you can contribute to the sect without asking for anything in return, the sect can do the same for you, Yu Yangyu said to Night Sorrow. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Elders. Night Sorrow bowed. Our Medicine Valley is going to hold another Venerable One celebration. How about this? Night Sorrow, you and your 9th senior sister will accompany me to the Thunder Rumbling sect, the Southern Dipper sect and the Free and Unfettered sect. A few days ago, didn't the Free and Unfettered sect want to snatch our territory? Why invite them? Yang Lei said with dissatisfaction. How do I explain this situation? No one wants to let go of the opportunity to expand their territory. We can't push them into the enemy camp because of this. Hua Yunping said to Yang Lei. Also, the Holy Light sect and the Star Cloud sect will also go. It's fine if they come, but it's also convenient if they don't come. The great elder thought for a moment and said, this disciple's qualifications are low. Isn't it inappropriate for this disciple to go? Night Sorrow said. He felt that he was a new second-generation disciple and was not suitable to go to the major sects to invite people. You're not suitable? You are now the signature of our Medicine Valley. As long as you agree, you are now the successor of the Valley Master, the young Valley Master, Hua Yunping said. I'm sorry, Elders. This disciple just wants to cultivate in peace, Night Sorrow said apologetically. As soon as Night Sorrow's words came out, the eyes of the great elder and the other elders behind him darkened. They were indeed a little disappointed because Night Sorrow didn't care about these things. They really wanted to support Night Sorrow to the position of young Valley Master. Let's not talk about this. Everyone, where is the best place to arrange the Golden Flame Palace? Yu Yangyu changed the topic. I think it should be placed next to the transmission hall that is about to be built. In the future, this place will be the core of the Medicine Valley. The square here should be infinitely expanded. Danding City needs to be properly expanded and become a super city in the Eastern Profound Domain, Hua Yunping said. There's one more thing. I'm about to step down. Elders, please choose a new Valley Master, Yu Yangyu said. That's not appropriate. The previous strategy is not suitable now. The Medicine Valley is in an important period of development. Stability is the most important thing. It will be better to have a venerable Valley Master to guard the situation. As for the problem of nurturing talents, we can choose a successor and let him come to Danding Peak to handle things, the great elder said directly. Then, near the transmission formation, the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley held a meeting. In the end, they decided to choose Gong Xian and Chu Lingxiao to be the Vice Valley Masters of Danding Peak, Yi Shui of Wuwei Peak to be the Peak Master of Nainin Peak, and Wu Qi to take over as the Peak Master of Danding Peak. This was a relatively large staff arrangement. With this arrangement, it also meant that the younger generation of the Medicine Valley had officially taken over. You little brat, you're just mud that can't support a wall. Qian Wu glared at Yi Shang with dissatisfaction. His eyes were full of disappointment. All the elders of the Medicine Valley thought highly of Night Sorrow, but Night Sorrow was unwilling. After the meeting of the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley, Yu Yangyu placed the Golden Flame Palace next to the transmission formation and started the construction of the transmission hall. All the elders went to work. Danding City was going to be expanded. The area around the square had to be demolished. Even the city master's mansion had to make way for the construction of the square. Night Sorrow and Sikong Chuyu rode Tianyu to the Dragon Spring courtyard. Yang Lei didn't come back with them. She was the city master of Danding City and had a lot of things to take care of. Night Sorrow, are you relieved now? The Medicine Valley has truly gained a foothold in the Eastern Xian domain, Sikong Chuyu whispered as he sat on Tianyu's back and hugged Night Sorrow's waist. Yes, I am relieved. I just want to reach the 5th rank as soon as possible. I don't know how long it will take to reach the 5th rank. Once I reach the 5th rank, I will go to the Qingtian domain with you. I will ask Jiyu's family to return Father Gu's arm, Night Sorrow said coldly. Okay, I will go with you then, Sikong Chuyu said. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. In the future, I will go to the Taiqing domain. I must find my family. Even if I can't find them, I will make the people who attacked the Night Moon Empire pay the price. Even if I am alone, I will fight. Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, those are top empires. They're all colossi. You can't act recklessly. Also, are you sure that you are a descendant of the Night Moon Empire? Sikong Chuyu was stunned when she heard Night Sorrow's words. Senior Lei Hua said that my bloodline energy contains the power of space, but he can't be completely sure. I know what's going on because my attribute is the void attribute, which suppresses the power of space. I know that I am a descendant of the Night Moon Empire. I don't care if my opponents are colossi. They attacked the Night Moon Empire, so I will kill them back. Only then will I be worthy of the blood of the Yi clan flowing in my body, Night Sorrow said. Sikong Chiyu nodded. She knew that she would be worried and scared in the coming days, but this was the Night Sorrow she liked, the Night Sorrow. Chapter 368. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. I understand. Even if Night Moon Dynasty doesn't return, you can still fight for a brand new world, Sikong Chiyu said. A man should strive for self-improvement. Life doesn't stop and battles don't stop. I'm just ashamed of Medicine Valley's nurturing of me, Night Sorrow said as he looked in the direction of Danding City. They may be a little disappointed, but they won't blame you. They also hope that you can become famous, Sikong Chiyu said as he looked up at Night Sorrow. I'm sorry. Back then I didn't know about my background. I didn't know that I had a mission, so I liked you. However, I won't let you go. As long as I'm alive, I won't let you suffer. Yishang looked at Sikong Chiyu in his arms and said, not afraid of any strong enemy and daring to fight against the world. That's you. I understand. Don't say sorry. Hug me. Sikong Chiyu murmured. After returning to Longquan Courtyard, Night Sorrow fed Tianyu and played with Silver Fox for a while. Then Night Sorrow began to practice his spear techniques. As his cultivation increased, Night Sorrow's spear techniques became more powerful. Every thrust of the spear had a piercing sound. The energy produced ripples that rippled in all directions. Night Sorrow cultivated for 4 hours. After he stopped, he drank tea and chatted with Sikong Chiyu, who had also stopped cultivating. Yang Lei, who was sitting next to Night Sorrow, said, 13, I guess you won't be able to rest this time. The venerable celebration ceremony is an inevitable event. You'll have to fight again. Night Sorrow said with a smile, it's nothing this time. There shouldn't be any life and death battles. I'm very happy. I suddenly feel that the future is very beautiful. There's no crisis in the Medicine Valley, and Master has entered the venerable realm. The rest of the days are sweet. When things settle down, I'll give birth to a baby for you. Yang Lei said. Let's wait until we've stabilized. Night Sorrow hugged Yang Lei and said. Night Sorrow did not have such plans. He still had a lot of things to do. Could be said that he could be in danger at any time. He did not want his children to be like him without their parents by their side. When he arrived above Danding City, Yishang saw that the city had changed greatly. The square in the center of the city covered a large area with a radius of 7 to 8 miles. There were 2 halls in the middle, one was the Golden Flame Hall, and the other was the Teleportation Hall. The entrance of the Teleportation Hall was guarded by the elders of the Medicine Valley. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs. The other thing was the demolition and reconstruction. The new city lord's mansion had already reached a certain scale. In addition, the location of the Tianji Tower had been changed. A group of craftsmen were also busy. Let's go to my mansion. The Great Elder is waiting for us there, Yang Lei said to Night Sorrow. In Yang Lei's mansion, the Great Elder was giving instructions to Bai Qingshan and Ao Yukuan. Yang Lei is the city lord, but she's also a woman. You two should worry about everything, especially the reconstruction of Danding City. The Medicine Valley will compensate you if you need it. Development is important, but you can't put the cart before the horse and cause complaints everywhere, the Great Elder said to Bai Qingshan and Ao Yukuan. You're here. Have you prepared anything? If not, let's go, the Great Elder stood up and said. There's nothing to prepare, said Yishan. Then let's go. You two remember to pay attention to the construction around the square. If there's any problem, report to the Valley Lord at the Golden Flame Hall, the Great Elder said and led Night Sorrow and Yang Lei to the Teleportation Hall. Night Sorrow did not know the Elder guarding the Teleportation Hall. The Elder bowed to the Great Elder. Pay attention to the safety of this place. This is our foundation. If there's any problem, activate the restriction of the Golden Flame Hall immediately. The Great Elder reminded them again and walked to the Teleportation Hall. When they left, they bypassed the killing array and illusion array set up by He Shang. The Teleportation Hall was at the innermost part of the Teleportation Hall. If they wanted to enter the teleportation hall, they had to pass through the area protected by the array. Seeing the Great Elder and the other two enter the teleportation hall, the elder guarding the teleportation hall installed a mid-grade crystal in the slot of the teleportation hall. As the crystal glowed, the teleportation hall started operating. The space started to blur and the feeling of dizziness appeared in Night Sorrow's mind again. However, it didn't take long before the energy stabilized. The three of them cupped their fists at the Black Iron Guard and walked out of the teleportation hall. A different aura. This is the #1 city of the Eastern Profound Domain, the Great Elder said with emotion. Great Elder, should we go to the other sects directly or stay in Dongshan City for a while? Night Sorrow asked. 7 LPs, let's stop for a while. I want to see Elder Chu in your house and see how you are doing in Dongshan City. The Great Elder knew about Night Sorrow's matter, so he planned to go to Night Sorrow's place to have a look. Sitting on a flying beast, the three of them arrived at the Medicine Valley station. Seeing the Great Elder, Elder Chu was stunned for a moment. Great Elder, why are you here? I'm here to see you. In addition, I want to inform you that the Medicine Valley's venerable celebration will be held in 2 months. Elder Chu, you should also go back. The Great Elder found a place to sit down and said, Venerable celebration. Our Medicine Valley has another venerable? Elder Chu, who was originally very surprised to see the Great Elder, was even more surprised. Yes, the Valley Master has entered the venerable realm. In addition, our Medicine Valley has completely taken over the Golden Flame Sects area and officially become one of the 7 superpowers of the Eastern Profound Domain. Let someone else take care of this place. Elder Chu, you should go back and rest for a few days, the Great Elder said. Okay, this is a good thing, a great thing. I will definitely go back, Elder Chu said excitedly. Elder Chu, let's go to my residence and have a drink together? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.